I was built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on the gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna end.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quite so thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. Go! To last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim. I was built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad,
Yeah.
baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody.
Oh, sorry about that. I forgot to open up the other chat. I forgot to open up the chat on here. Oh, how we doing this morning? I'm representing the Nigel today, man. It's the hoodie that he got me from that throne site. It's My Hero Academy. Love that anime. It's so good. I haven't finished it. I still need to finish it. I've gotten really close though. Wait, where is... Hello? I had IGN and play, dude. What? I had IGN and PlayStation up. I don't know what happened. Oh, God. Oh, did y'all see? They lowered the Xbox Game Pass and the Game Pass for PC, and they had said that the reason why it was so expensive is it was Call of Duty. The day one Call of Duties were what was doing it. So they made it to where Game Pass isn't going to get Call of Duty until a year after its release. That shit's crazy to me. All that for one damn franchise that just can't get their shit together. Fuck them. That's so annoying. I wish Payday 3 was better. Payday 2 is so good. Payday 3 just sucks. That's fun. I'm actually kind of jealous you're playing the pirate game. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll wait for it to come on console or Steam Deck. It's not registered for the Steam Deck yet, so I gotta wait.
Tie down the civilian. I have something to bargain with. Great job, man.
Big old update. Big old update. The hell is this?
Get ready to soar into the next evolution of the Ace Combat franchise. But before we push beyond the horizon, let's remember what made Ace Combat 7 unforgettable. Fans took to the skies in heart-pounding aerial combat, powered by Unreal
This game's fucking hard. This game's hard, bro. I played one of these games once. Shit was hard.
Engine 4. For the first time,
hard, man.
Ace Combat 7 introduced fully realized
Man,
three-dimensional
let me tell you what. A fucking Souls-like ain't got nothing on this. This shit's hard. Bro, I'll be doing all kinds of nice little... I'm thinking I'm cool doing an aerial combat maneuver, and I'm like doing a barrel roll into like a low fucking ground maneuver, and then I just slam into the ground, and I'm like, fuck! Because it startles you too, because you don't think the ground is as close as it is, and then you see boom, and I'm like, God damn it!
clouds. Now, that experience reaches new heights. Built in Unreal Engine 5, Ace Combat 8 delivers a richer, more immersive world than ever before.
Starting with a dick? What? Oh. It says that it's not Steam Deck supported. I thought. I even have to look at it now. Hold on, wait a minute.
Last game delivered
Hold on, wait a minute.
narrative
I'm gonna have to
through
look at it.
cinematic third-person cutscenes written by Sunao Katabuchi. And the story isn't over. A brand new story awaits in Ace Combat 8. Classic postal maneuvers return, but the fight has evolved.
Yeah, I know, right? Fuck the ground, man. Fuck gravity, too. Fuck you, gravity. Asshole. man. You trip over something and there's like no in between, like a tall person. You just go straight to the ground, bro. It sucks.
After 2020.
I've actually got a special place in hell for Diablo, so we're gonna react. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at that. If I was the devil, I'd have a special place in hell reserved specifically for him. This is probably the next game that I'm gonna play after Mouse for Hire. I've been meaning to get around to this game. It's on Steam. And from what I've seen, it's really good.
Here we go.
I don't think he made that jump. Well, it's because all my stuff is in here. So, like, the two desktops are in this room. Now, y'all can't see my other desktop, but it stands as tall as a table. Like, it's literally up to, like, right here. Which is, you know, kinda high. It's kinda high. So I'm not moving that fucking thing. It's in a Tower 900. If y'all know what a Tower 900 is, it's fucking massive. I don't have, it's not liquid cooled, so I needed it to, like, have as many air holes as possible. And then they don't sell them anymore. It's by Corsair, I think. And then the other desktop, I could move it in the other room. I don't want to fucking do it, so, yeah. So it doesn't happen. And that's my life in a nutshell, unfortunately for me. Gonna have to hire me one of them illegals in order to move my stuff around eventually, you know what I'm saying? I'm kidding, by the way. I'm joking.
That's it. Let it all out, Tack.
It's in my boots.
Something I ate. Looks like everything you ate.
Stand
Why
back!
does that look like a helmet on top of a building? Am I the only person that thinks this looks like a damn helmet on top of a building? Or like a Starship
That's
Trooper base
Let it all out,
helmet
Jack.
thing?
It's in my boots.
Something I ate. Looks like everything you ate.
Stand back!
My God. It can't be. This place is my legacy, the result of that.
Did they actually bring back one of the older maps? No way. Surely they didn't. Surely they didn't listen to their audience.
The dumb deal.
Okay, that's really badass. Holy shit. I was right! It's totally a helmet! It's totally a fucking helmet! That's the same thing they're standing in! That's literally the same thing they're standing in! It's even got the little doodad on the side there! wasn't too bad. Not gonna lie, that actually was pretty good. I'm kind of surprised. Compared to the slop that I've been seeing. Maybe they fired enough staff to make a good game again. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, this looks good. Hold on, wait a minute. Whoa, hold on. Yep, take my money. You can take all my money, I don't care. I'll give you the card. I think there's an overdraft fee, just let me know. Just take my money, I don't care. Oh! Yo, that's a game, boys. That's a game!
The lines are breaking!
Holy shit, let's go! That's what I'm talking about! That's a game. Oh, what a great way to end the morning, huh? So, if y'all don't know, there's this little trick in Diablo 4 where you spend $150,000 to get everything you want in the game. For the most part, you have to. If you want to get the gem sockets, the gems to socket in the armor, you have to roll loot crates in order to get them. So yeah, fuck this game. And if IGN rates this anything higher than a 5, fuck IGN.
Hatred expansion left me dangling off a narrative cliff like a hapless sanctuary peasant. Lord of Hatred had quite a lot riding on its ability to deliver on that momentum.
Mephisto, you shall darken the world no longer.
And give me a reason to become hopelessly lost in its loop-filled grind once again. The good news is that it's done exactly that, thanks to a tight, satisfying campaign.
Yeah,
2 new
yeah, it's actual money. Actual money. Otherwise, you'd have to spend like 100 years grinding out the sockets. I think that's what I had heard. Like, it's a lot of fucking money. They literally took this game, because there was a game after Diablo 3 called Diablo Immortal, which was a phone game where you had to pay to win, pretty much. And now, for this one, you pretty much have to pay to play. Like, you have to buy... Like, you don't have to necessarily buy the gems to socket into your armor, but in order to get the best gear and armor, you have to do that. Unlike Diablo 3, where you could just play the game a shitload and get it, this one, they just decided to give every player the middle finger.
Classes that I've already spent dozens of hours experimenting with and min-maxing builds for, and an endgame that's so loaded with things to do that I occasionally forgot some of the systems even existed.
Path of Exile is way better. I absolutely recommend Path of Exile. If you haven't played a Path of Exile, I would recommend it.
If you've been waiting for a reason to dive back into Diablo 4's
Do not waste your fucking time and money on this game.
brand of misery, Lord of Hatred has plenty of compelling reasons to do so.
I barely knew you existed until today. But now you've stepped onto my stage, and you thought there would be no consequences.
As a proper end to the demonic battle that's been building since 2023, Lord of Hatred's cutscenes are unsurprisingly jaw-dropping, but it's the writing and pacing of this short and sweet 8-ish hour campaign that stands as some of Blizzard's best work yet. It had me on the edge of my seat from beginning to end, with all sorts of twists, turns, and tragedies, references to deep Diablo lore, and motivations for even its most irredeemable characters that had me debating demon philosophy with my friends in party chat as we smashed our way through gobs of imps.
My queen, let him walk free, so that all who look upon him will be reminded of what hate can do.
Sure, the campaign is only a tiny part of the inevitable hundreds of hours that will be spent mindlessly exploding loot goblins into sparkly treasures, but part of the reason I'm so attached to this depressing and violent world is precisely because of the mysteries, drama, and unforgettable characters that occupy it. Lord of Hatred takes full advantage of all of those things, making it easily one of my favorite Diablo campaigns to date. That campaign primarily takes place in Sanctuary's latest locale, Skovos, a Mediterranean-style island that plays an especially interesting role in Diablo's lore as the birthplace of humanity. This new region has many of the things we've come to expect from the series, like an incredibly alarming human to horrifying monster ratio.
I don't know why so many people dislike Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, but I thoroughly enjoyed the fuck out of that game. I need to play Diablo 2 because they remastered it.
And destroyed places that are covered in disgusting fleshy blisters and whatever the heck a corpse clot is. But plenty of things here are a breath of fresh air too, namely beautiful and not yet destroyed areas that reflect the fact that this ancient place has been spared the worst of the horrors the mainland has faced all these years. The region has also got lots of diversity to it, from Lovecraftian-coded foggy shorelines
Whoa!
to
That's
volcanic
cool.
hellscapes, each adding new
Like,
reasons.
Diablo has such really good ideas baked into its games. I just don't know why the hell they decided to make it to where you have to pay for that shit, man. That's the one thing.
Keep on trekking
It's the one
around
thing.
in search of loot.
Why does a single-player experience need loot boxes? Why?
Isn't nearly as densely filled with new dungeons as the mainland of
It also has,
Sanctuary.
like, a season pass system as well.
But the stuff that is there, especially the new strongholds to conquer, are well worth doing.
I was so hyped for this fucking game, too. I bought, like, the digital deluxe edition, man. I was so excited for it to come out, and then I was just met with absolute total disappointment. I was so mad, bro. I was so mad.
We've reclaimed the courtyard.
Aside from the finale to the story and some new places to explore, Lord of Hatred also introduces two very cool character classes to shake things up. The returning Paladin is about what you'd expect if you journeyed across Sanctuary as one in Diablo 2, with loads of protection abilities and ridiculously powerful build options like the Aura build my co-op mate designed so he could just walk around destroying everything in his path without even having to lift a finger. The Warlock, on the other hand, is completely new to the series, not counting Diablo 2 having recently retroactively added it for the 30th anniversary, of course, which has you claiming Hell's Power as your own in a wide variety of diverse builds. That ranges from the Necromancer-like
Yo, Lords of the Fallen is a fantastic game. It's on sale right now as well for $6. Like, dude,
Legion
Lords of the
options.
Fallen is such a
They're
great
all
game.
about summoning demons to do your fighting for you, to the Vanguard build that turns you into a demon yourself, for those who prefer a more personal touch to their wanton destruction.
That's kind of cool. So you can turn into a demon?
The Paladin is pure nostalgic comfort food that I'm glad to have added to the roster, but I prefer the new hotness of the Warlock, especially just how diverse you can get with it by going down each of the 4 disciplines or by mixing and matching them together to create something unexpected. What's even bigger than these 2 new skill trees, though, is that the 6 already available have been completely reworked. The changes are mostly centered around the fact that instead of having a bunch of highly attractive passive perks that did simple yet incredibly efficient things like increasing the damage you deal or the attacks you can withstand, they're now built around making more meaningful choices. For example, in the Warlock tree, you can pick between making
Yeah, there were like hundreds of fucking skill things in the trees, and it felt like they were all useless. None of them made any sense.
a defensive wall of demons encircle your enemy, trapping
That's
them
cool.
within, or breaking apart into a pack of vicious sluggers after a period. As the sorceress, you can now decide to take your fire hydra snakes and turn them into ice snakes instead, if that elemental effect
Oh, so they finally added different types of elemental snakes? Wow. Damn, I could have waited. How long has it been since Diablo 4 came out? Or I could have just played Diablo 3.
is more your
That's
speed,
crazy.
or if it works better with whatever mad scientist build you're concocting. These changes are really awesome, as they push you away from picking the boring, passive upgrades and instead help your character feel much more unique, even when playing alongside those using your same character class. Still, there's also plenty of fat to cut, like how skills now allow you to sink up to 15 points into them versus the previous 5. After you've picked your base skills and modified them to your liking, the rest of the leveling experience is pretty much just deciding which ones to focus your points into, recreating a lot of the same uninteresting decisions we were making with the previous trees. I still like the changes they've made here, especially the added freedom to augment how those powers work in more meaningful ways, but I do wish they'd have gone a bit further in that direction. Once you've bested the campaign and maxed out version yet, that means you'll have to contend with truly some of the most obscenely complicated menus around, which have only grown more cumbersome over the years. But you're in for a relentlessly rewarding ride if you go through the trouble of learning it all. Having been along for that ride from the start, I love obsessing over every little detail and finding tons of ways to maximize my lethality. Finally finding a piece of gear that perfectly fits your build, or saving up enough materials to reroll a stat that gives you that extra DPS you need to break through to the next world tier is exactly what chunky ARPGs like this one are all about. Rolling into an endgame activity to watch all your careful preparation and planning turn into you absolutely stomping all over enemies and melting the boss in half a second is downright awesome. And knowing there's plenty of runway with 12 tiers of endgame difficulty, up from just 4 previously, is just insane. The latest addition to that min-maxing meta is the Talisman system, which allows you to collect magical runes that slot into yet another loadout menu. Practically speaking, this is a clever way of offering set bonuses that are usually found on specific armor sets. Except here, you can use whatever armor you want, while talismans stand on their own. It took me a while to wrap my head around it, honestly, just because I'm so used to the entire idea of a set bonus being a reward for collecting and sporting armor pieces that belong together, but decoupling the need to use specific pieces of equipment ends up being a pretty smart move. Though it does add another thing to optimize and obsess over, and frankly, Diablo 4 already has so many of those that I sometimes forgot about talismans altogether.
Bro, this is just too much. What the fuck you need all this shit for? Like, at a certain point, it's like, dude, like, why? You just couldn't just be the set bonuses that you get? Like, you get, like, a boosted DPS if you have all a specific set. It has to be like, oh, now we've got to add this other thing to give bonuses as well.
They're a neat addition.
Like,
I'm glad they exist, especially since it gave me another thing to squeeze afterworked gear at the cost of locking it out of squeeze even more power out of all that grinding you did. Combined with the loot filter, which allows you to target specific items with fewer annoyances than ever before. Speaking of the endgame grind, Lord of Hatred takes yet another stab at providing a more compelling laundry list of activities to engage with while you carry out that search for loot. To be fair, I also praised Diablo 4 Vanilla's endgame based on my pre-release review time with it, but the benefit of hindsight and a couple more weeks of playtime on the live servers ultimately saw it wear pretty thin shortly thereafter, so it's hard to say for sure. Is called War Plans, which works like a curated playlist of activities that you're directed to one after another, all of which offer compelling rewards. The best part of this is just how easy it is to jump from activity to activity, since you no longer need to hunt for Nightmare Dungeon keys or manually walk over to Helltide events. You can now teleport to the next activity on your playlist in a matter of seconds and keep the good times rolling.
I hope whatever's here puts up a good fight.
One moment you'll be blasting your way through the pit, the next you'll jump over to go stomp out a lair boss, before returning to the war table to collect a batch of rewards. As you progress, these trees will offer more branching paths for you to pick from, and will start offering modified versions of these events that target specific rewards. Even cooler are the new perk trees associated with each of the endgame activities included in War Plans, which allow you to modify how these events work and let you customize your loot for doing so. Again, it's still hard to say whether or not this will have legs after we've been running War Plans for a few seasons, but I like their chances of keeping my attention, or at least not annoying me with weird barriers to entry just to run these activities. That said, though the premise of the entire War Plan system seems to be reducing the headache of accessing endgame content, it has a pretty fatal flaw in how it works when you're playing with friends. Since your War Plans playlist is randomized each time you run it, and your friends each have their own specific things to tackle in their own orders that are unlikely to align with yours, if you're tagging along with a buddy to run through them, you'll almost instantly feel like a second-class citizen when you see a fragment of the rewards they get. You still get credit for tackling these activities, including loot at the end of each bested challenge and some XP to go towards your various war plan skill trees, but your actual progress toward your own war plan will only advance if your next activity just so happens to align with theirs. When I wasn't the party leader picking the next activity, I felt like I was wasting my time and playing inefficiently by not making progress on my own playlist. And when I was the party leader making the picks, I felt guilty that my co-op buddies weren't seeing the same level of progress as me. It's one of those small details that come. The other major endgame activity is third levels of challenge that lead to your. Interestingly, access to this activity is locked behind a fairly rare, at least in my experience, consumable drop you'll need to get every time you want to test your metal. But this game, specifically the warplane system, don't be fooled by the tidal wave of apocalyptic monstrosities that surround you, kind of just games in equal measure, offers a wonderfully satisfying conclusion to the Mephisto saga, with one of my favorite Diablo stories yet, some really compelling changes to build crafting, 2 equally interesting new classes, and an endgame that seems primed to be more accessible and life-devouring than ever before. There are a few missteps here and there, like the completely lame way the new endgame handles co-op progression, or the fewer than expected reasons to explore Skovos beyond the campaign missions. But the vast majority of changes, improvements, and additions are enough to convince me to sink.
Bro, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit. And you know what's really funny? If I'm not mistaken, they gave the base game a 9, bro. It came out and everybody fucking hated it. Are you fucking... Dude, holy shit. These people are so disconnected from reality. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? What the fuck even is that?
Really interesting scam that I gotta yap about, because it reminded me of an experience I had when I first moved into my apartment out in a God's country on my own, finally leaving the nest of my parents. And boy howdy, let me tell you, I had a wacky experience with a scam that could have resulted in me missing a kidney, a nipple, and all $40 in my wallet. And the video I just watched from Inside Edition talks about a modern scam that feels like
Coffee time, boys,
of what I went through.
It's a blackmail caper stranger than fiction. This couple says they returned home to find their beloved dog missing from their backyard.
We were so scared. We didn't know what had happened to him.
Then came a phone call. Their 11-year-old beagle mix named Archer had been found. They say they were sent this photo showing the poor pooch with a terrible wound.
So some fucking scoundrel.
So this is a scam they're doing now? Are you fucking kidding me? Wow, what the fuck?
Went and they actually did steal this couple's dog. So they kidnapped the dog and then called them to tell them that the dog had actually been found, but unfortunately it had gotten in an accident and it was going to need surgery. And then sending proof, they AI generated this image of their dog on an operating table at a vet. Now, why this kind of relates to what happened to me out of college in my apartment is because one day, randomly, I had received a phone call from a stranger, the fucking cold call out of nowhere from the boogeyman, and they started spinning a tall tale about how my mother was driving and ran over this guy's brother at the gas station, just fucking mowed him down like it was GTA, and it was now my responsibility to get over there and clear this all up. I don't even remember what they were demanding. I think it was like I bring money or something in order to squash it, and it was just an extremely tense situation, and I would ask for proof, and they're like, nope, your mother can't talk right now. I've got her, you know, she's too panicked, and I've got her, like, calm down, and I don't want to, like, get her all excited again or something. Like,
yeah, always call the person. Like, if you get a call from someone claiming to be your bank, hang up that phone call and call the bank. Don't even bother with that.
Some kind of fucking zoo animal or something. But like at the time, I was just like, okay, man, I guess Mom done made a big old boo-boo here. Come on, what were you thinking, Mom? Jeez, Jiminy Christmas, this is ridiculous. And at the time, it didn't really occur to me to start like interrogating, so I didn't ask like the best questions, but I was like, all right, if I can't talk to her, let me just go ahead and give her a call myself real quick just to, see what's going on. And he's like, no, if you hang up this phone, I'm taking your mom, or something like that. Or maybe he was like, then the police will have to get involved and they'll beat you here. So I don't even remember now. It's been so many years. But basically, it was about like, I need to go there and pay because my mom did this. And it was all just a big fucking lie over the phone. Eventually, I was like, you know what? This sounds fishy. Slowly but surely, I started breaking out of the genjutsu. This was a long conversation, mind you, of them trying to like really fucking use as much elbow grease as possible and, get me out the door over there with some money for him or whatever it was. But eventually I was just like, all right, man, look, Squirt, this isn't adding up. I don't know why I can't talk to my mom about this if she's right there and you're like making this threat. It feels very off. Eventually I wisened up and finally started reaching the conclusion that this is likely phony baloney, but even in the slim chance that it wasn't, I kind of liked my mom.
They try to aim for that shock factor of a vulnerable person in order to get what they want.
Odds in this case here, if things did start to get rowdy, she carries and considering going over there. In fact, I had even got my wallet and my keys, and I was like, all right, I'll just start making a trip over there because they gave me like an address to the gas station. The point is, this kind of thing is obviously alarming, and it kind of throws a lot of things out of whack in the old noodle up here.
Yeah.
They didn't like immediately recognize it as a scam, which I totally relate to. If I had received an AI-generated photo of my mom behind the wheel going like a Mr. Beast thumbnail from those scammers, I wouldn't have thought twice. I would have been out the door on my way over, steaming like, oh.
Being prepped for surgery. Bill and Allison.
That's actually a really good AI-generated video. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good.
For surgery. Bill and Allison Cousins say the caller identified himself as a vet and said Archer had been run down by a car.
He was going to have surgery because he had a broken femur and a dislocated shoulder. And we were like, yes, whatever needs to be done.
Archer's panicked owners were told the surgery would cost $2,740.
Oh, the hell it would. I'd be like, well, dog, you had a good run. But it's your time now, boss. I'm sorry. You had a good run. The hell it would. I'd be like Old Yeller. All right, Old Yeller. It's your time, buddy.
$46. They were willing to pay up, but then they realized some things just didn't.
The vet says it's going to cost $2,200. I'm going to say, no, it ain't.
Didn't add up. First, they received a text instructing them to pay with Walmart or CVS gift cards.
Oh, hell, bro. Why are these people so fucking stupid? Walmart or CVS gift cards.
As any reputable vet would request. We don't accept money or credit or anything like that. Only these extremely specific means through this text message.
That's right. Cujo Cujo lived a long life. You know what I'm saying?
Like eventually, it's like
if Cujo cost $2,000, Cujo, look, Cujo, you costed more than you costed me more now than whenever I paid for you. All right, Cujo, maybe it's your time. You know what I'm saying? Look, I love you, but I don't love you that much. I'm sorry.
No, you gotta come over here. No, you can't talk to her. No, you can't hang up this phone as if it was like, fucking Keanu Reeves in Speed or something. Like, eventually it started to dawn on me, same as it did for them. Like, it's easy to look at this and be like, how did they not immediately recognize that as AI or, like, all just a bunch of fucking hullabaloo? But when you get, like, a call like this, it's alarming. It's jarring. And especially now with AI, it is enough to, like, fool you, at least temporarily. And they did actually have their dog stolen. In my case, they didn't.
Hey, did they get the dog back, or is the dog just gone now? Like, that sucks.
Fucking hog tie my mom or anything like that. You know, like,
bro, like, you mean to tell me that you can't even leave your fucking dog in your yard without having to worry about some dickheads taking your dog and then sending you AI generated video images of your dog trying to scam you? Is that really, like, these people have gotten that desperate to where they can't call from overseas anymore? This is the new thing they're doing? This is some scummy shit. We need to get these people up out of our country, man. This is dog shit. Ha. I see what I did there.
We're just straight up lying, but in their case, they actually did take their dog. So they had even more reason to believe that, okay, you know, maybe there's an air of legitimacy to all of this, until, of course...
Well, like, I mean, it's effectively, it's kidnapping at that point. Like, it's literally holding hostage, like, a piece of property for ransom. I feel like there's some pretty hefty charges that can come with that, no? Like...
They got that text message about how wacky the payment protocol was for this supposed vet. Then they started to really look at that photo they got sent of Archer on the table.
Then they were sent another photo of Archer post-surgery, this time with fancy bandages.
I'm like, this is exactly the same as the first picture, just the two doctors had moved.
And look at the date on the x-rays.
It says 12/21/2022.
Wow.
Holy shit, it's more serious than we thought. Arthur ran so fast that he traveled back in time 4 years. Must have been hit by the DeLorean or something. Oh,
that's right, man.
Goodness heavens to Betsy. So yeah, when you really look at it, it falls apart. But the thing with the AI and scams, like we talked about with the AI voicemail scams, where AI scammers... not voicemail, but AI voice scammers where they will emulate a loved one in order to try and, like, weasel money out.
What the fuck? Bro, that means that they must know you like that.
Voice scammers where they will emulate a loved one in order to try and, like, weasel money out of a...
Bro, what the actual fuck? That's creepy. That's actually creepy. So that means that, like, they know somebody in your family and they try to emulate their voice to match them. So they know that you know who this family member is. They know that it's a family member. That's creepy. I don't like that at all. I don't like that one fucking bit.
It just needs to be good enough. And since they're preying on people that are in a vulnerable state already, like them missing their dog and trying to exploit that, it's even more effective there because they're just really wanting their, you know, dog to be okay and safe, and they're willing to pay to ensure he gets proper care. So they're more willing to believe that.
Almost 4 years ago.
Correct.
Turns out the photos were entirely AI generated. The AI scam failed, but the heartbroken owners were still missing their dog, Archer. Then, 4 days later, Archer suddenly showed up at their front door in Deltona, Florida. Here he is. Hey, Archer.
Here's our Archer.
I actually couldn't believe this shit right here. So
I'm shocked that they brought the dog back. I am. I'm very shocked they brought the dog back.
So the fucking scumbags that stole their dog from their property ended up returning the dog after they failed to get money out of this. That was a bigger subversion of my expectations than everything that happened with Game of Thrones at the end. I am shocked. Like, it doesn't redeem...
Yeah, they could have just as easily dumped the dog somewhere.
The scammers and dog nappers...
They should have put up a ring camera to see who the hell did it.
Here, but I am happy at least that, you know, their heart grew 3 sizes there, like the Grinch, and they did decide to return the dog when they realized that this didn't work. Because I imagine in most cases with these fucking vile worms, they do not care about the dog or anything, or the family, so they'll, I don't know, maybe kill the dog, have it put down, or, you know, throw it in a shelter, or just release it into the wild on the side of the road or something like that.
Maybe they did do that and the dog went back home. I mean, it's quite possible they did that. That means that whoever did this was probably in the same neighborhood.
I was really surprised to see that they actually did just bring the dog back.
Without being able to make a buck, the dog napper apparently decided to return Archer.
Archer, hey, buddy. How do you try to take advantage of people when they're at their most vulnerable? Like, that's disgusting.
Archer's owners think he
Sounds familiar, doesn't it, boys? Sounds like another sounds like another hospice fraud situation, don't
was
it?
confined because he's walking like he soar. The sheriff's department is investigating.
My guess is this isn't an isolated incident. I imagine that this is a group that goes out and actively searches for animals that they can steal and then try and, like, ransom to these families and mislead them by saying, like, oh, we found your dog and now we need this money in order to take care of their injuries, that kind of thing. Just explore.
But how are they able to get a hold of the phone number? Like, it's not a landline, right? Because they got the AI-generated images. How are they able to find these people's dogs and then take pictures of the dog and send it back? Send it to them on the number? Because, like, I don't understand that part of it. How is that even possible? How do you even get their phone number?
The vulnerability, and like she mentioned, it is very twisted. It is disgusting stuff. But
nah, because, like, even my phone number's not tied to this zip code. My phone number's not even tied to the zip code. So, like, how's that even happen?
That's what scammers prey on. That's what they look for. And now...
Yeah, but can you, like, what if you don't know their name? How can you look somebody up if you don't know their name?
In the age of AI, they can more effectively...
Like, just imagine you're going around trying to steal animals, and you don't know who they look like, and you don't know, like... That means that they must have been followed for a couple days, even.
Manipulate their victims and more effectively convince them of basically anything they want. So, anyway, I saw this earlier today, and while it is, like, wacky, like the AI image they sent of...
Oh, yeah, the dog tag. You know what? Maybe you're right. That's yes, no, that makes sense, because he had the collar. So what they did is they probably got the, the collar. Okay, yeah. I was like, dude, how, like, I was very confused.
Surgery, and then it, got all patched up there. And it's very...
And I know that it's like, oh, well, like, there's a reason why you can't get in contact with Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, Asmongold. Like, you can't just look something up like that and find it. You like, it's not exactly easy to find, I'll say that. But that's why I was like, how the fuck do they get the number?
Clearly
so they specifically look for animals that have collars on them in the backyards and stuff. That makes a lot more sense.
AI-generated fucking hoopla. It is scary though, because they did steal.
They could also try to have if it's part of a veterinary clinic, they might even have like a chip scanner. That's true. Or maybe they got their hands on one.
Thousands of dollars from this family, trying to lead them to believe that it was going to a vet that cared for their beloved animal. Now, luckily, it does have a happy ending. They got the dog back, but I imagine in most cases like this,
it doesn't.
Family probably doesn't. So hopefully they do catch these assholes responsible. Anyway, just wanted to put this on your radar and yap about it.
I don't think they're gonna. All right, here we go. So apparently, Johnny Somali fucked up. He appealed, and I think he got more time in jail. W Legal Mindset.
Both the prosecution and Ramzi Khalid Ismail have appealed the decision of
stupid ass motherfucker.
His court sentence in Seoul, South Korea. We're getting into Somali's detention hell that is just beginning now, and how he is in the absolute worst position possible. Of course, as a legal mindset, we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney who's been tracking the Somali case from beginning to end. So let's jump right into it with my opening statement. So as you guys probably know, but to recap, Ramzi Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali, was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to 6 months in prison with labor, an additional 20 days of detention, 5 years of offender status, and had his phones permanently confiscated. Now,
so they just straight up took his shit. I didn't know it was permanent. Woo!
Yesterday, on the 20th, Ramsey Khalid Ismail actually submitted for an appeal in Seoul, South Korea. And today we have news that the prosecution has filed an appeal. So it is officially happening. Here's the actual submission form you can pull online, and you see here 4/21/2026, prosecutor Park So-jung submits an appeal, and the prosecutor submitted a statement for grounds for the appeal. So it is happening, folks. And right now, we need to understand that after he was dragged out of the courtroom, he was handcuffed, all of his possessions were taken, he was marched off to the police station where he remained in a holding cell probably over the weekend, and then he's taken to Seoul Detention Center, specifically Seoul Nambu Detention Center, which is where we have essentially confirmed he is right now. And we're going to get into exactly how bad that is. But what's good is the cabbages are still available in the comments. Technically 6 months and 20 days. But on top of that, they can slap at least 6 months for the appeal. Actually, that can go even more if he appeals to higher courts and brings.
So you mean to tell me that this idiot could be stuck in jail for another 12 months because of this appeals process? So he's going to be stuck.
Just all the way up to the Supreme Court.
He's going to be stuck in jail.
Another 8 months on top of that. So this can go well over a year. But at a minimum, we're looking.
Bro, you think he would have learned his lesson by now?
At 6 months here. And so even after the time of his sentence, so even after the 6 months is done, they don't let you go and let you back in Korea after that conviction. They have to hold him in the detention center. He's in there with other folks that are appealing, other folks that are perhaps waiting to get sent out of the country or have other issues. So all of those people are held there. They do not get to roam free. They are forced to stay in the detention center even past the time of their sentence. So even if Johnny was to win, that may not work out right. And why this is particularly funny and something that we've held on to for a very long time is because we knew that if he was, and we in the SCT knew that if he appealed this, he would be stuck in the detention center for even longer. So if he'd actually just taken the sentence and ridden it out, he might.
Oh, there's no way that the lawyer. There's no way the lawyer didn't tell him that if he did this, he was going to get fucked, right? Surely.
Be able to just get out of there quicker. It's possible if the prosecutor didn't appeal that. But because he actually appealed, he's now stuck. And I know that sounds crazy, right? As it says here, wait, what? But I put in my appeal. I'm going to go to prison for how much longer? That's not fair. Well, in Korea, the process is the punishment. And indeed, he is learning here today. So all throughout that appeal process, he's going to be stuck in the detention center. And we're going to get into why the detention center specifically.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe the lawyer didn't say anything to him. I mean,
the labor prison. But to do that, we really need to explain to you guys how the labor prison compared to the detention center is absolute heaven. That labor center, the factory where you've been making fish cakes or cleaning toilets, doing whatever else, the labor prison, which likely would be Chonan prison, that prison to prisoners looks like heaven compared to the hell that is the detention center.
Really?
Seoul Nambu Detention Center. We had the chance to actually interview someone who'd been there to that detention center, and they walked us through the entire process on and how it's such a bad thing. And just so you guys understand.
So he's going to be spending more time in the detention center than he will at the actual work camp place.
What happens? They start at the court, they may go to the police station in a holding cell for a couple days, and then they go to the detention center. And they wait at the detention center till that appeal period is up. And if they choose not to appeal, if they do not appeal, then they'll go on to the prison that they are sorted into, right? So if it's a labor charge that requires you to do labor, they'll go to a labor prison, likely Chonan, end up in a factory job there, and end up doing that work at that separate prison, at that labor prison. But if they appeal, this step 2, never goes to step 3. They're stuck in this detention center. And this detention center, ladies and gentlemen, is rough. So talking and interviewing with our individual who'd been there and going through all the details, there's some crazy stuff. First of all, the detention center is at 130% capacity. In the detention center, specifically Seoul Nambu Detention Center, they are packed in tight. They pack them in.
Oh man, look at that. Yo, Somali gonna be in there playing footsies.
6 people to a room for foreigners.
Holy!
7 for Koreans, probably because they assume that foreigners are larger and going to take up more space. And indeed, the one with the lowest rank, the one who is considered the lowest in the room, has to sleep next to the toilet. And mind you, these are Korean squatting style toilets. So there's,
from what I understand, they choose where you sleep. Like the guards choose where you sleep. And the newest in is always the one that sleeps next to the toilet.
Stuck next
That's
to
what
that
I've heard.
toilet in the room. Foreigners are not given the ability to exit the room. They essentially stay in the room all day because there's none of the tasks that they can do because they don't speak Korean at the prison. They can't do things like serve food, etc. They're also only given about 30 minutes of outdoor time every other Saturday. So they're not getting...
Holy shit. Wow, dude, like, you can't even tell me this is inhumane. If Korea can do it, we can do it.
Much outdoor time at all. They're really stuck in that room almost the entire time. The other thing is you really can't talk. Talking is not a thing. Socializing is not a thing. You really can't communicate with people. And the only way people communicate is by letters or on the rare occasion that a family member shows up to see them. Hot water is something that people fight over in this prison. In fact, they only get usually 1 hot shower a week. There's also no air conditioning, so he'll be dealing with a very, very hot summer in that prison.
Bro, that sounds like hell. Holy crap.
Now, also, lawyers in the prison try to exploit foreigners, and oftentimes they're there giving bad legal advice. Of course, Johnny is no stranger to bad legal advice. Let's remind you of what his lawyer said to him during the pendency of the trial.
April 1st at 1000 hours.
Does he think that this charge will have any jail time? Because people on the internet are saying, I know it's bull. Don't even say that. Just say, this charge, people are saying I'm going to go to jail for this. Is that true?
이거 감금 될까요? 예. 많이 유죄되면.
구속되냐고?
네.
그럴 가능성은 없어. 미국인이야.
What do you say?
그래.
He's saying that
근데 저번에
probably
처음에
not because you are an
미국인들
American.
탑으로
See, this is the opinion he was relying upon. He was relying upon getting out because he's American, and even his lawyer gave him that bad advice that, hey, you're not going to get punished because you're American. Well, clearly that was not the case.
Bro got set up at every single angle. He had the internet blazing him. He just couldn't keep his nose clean. Bro cooked himself at every angle, and his lawyer was the last nail in the coffin. Bro. And how much y'all want to make a bet the only reason why he's doing what he did was because of that bad legal advice, which was to appeal once the conviction is done. So he's going to end up being stuck for a full year where he's at now before he finally goes to the work camp.
The other thing is, of course, as you can probably imagine, prison food is horrible. You are only getting buckets of rice and soup, and this is actually very low quality. It was actually
Bro, why don't we do that to our inmates? Buckets and rice of rice and soup. That seems pretty good for him, man. We could like have it to where, like, you know, it's like a muzzle. You know, if you want to sit there and kill people and act like a fool, then let's just treat them like animals. I mean, they obviously act like animals. Like, why do we have to treat them like humans?
Chuseok, they give out special white rice that is of higher quality because normally what they're giving them is extremely low quality, and people are fighting over the food and the rationing there as well. There is a commissary, but here's the problem: you can't order from that commissary unless you speak Korean, unless you're going to be speaking in fluent Korean.
I don't know if he is. This might actually be an eye-opener for him. We don't know yet. I mean, we don't know what his... Because, like, you have to keep in mind that there's a good chance that because he's... I'm just going to say it. Because he's black, they're probably going to beat the fuck out of him there, bro. Like, like, Asian people are notorious for being racist as shit. I'm not even kidding. It's really bad in some of these foreign countries. Like, it's not like America.
They're not allowing you to order from that commissary unless you can buddy up with...
I think that this might be a life lesson for him, bro. He's going to get out and be like a prophet or something. Who knows?
Somebody who can order for you. So Johnny Somali is not getting any perks or anything special in prison. Let's turn to this letter here that actually looks at a letter written from the prisoner that we interviewed, or rather to the prisoner that we interviewed, from somebody in the labor prison. So this is a letter written between friends. They were actually both, charged with a similar thing. And this letter explains how much better the labor prison is than the detention center. They say, try to come fast because in Chonan, that's the labor prison, the time is passing very well. Every morning we go to the factory and 5 o'clock we come to the room. All day we're busy.
Yeah, because you have something to do. Like, I'd imagine in that detention center where there's no AC and no one talks to each other. Dude, I'd imagine it's mind-numbing in there. Just nothing to do, cramped into a fucking cell like a bunch of sardines. I'd imagine that is mind-numbing.
Work, talking to many people, and also having the opportunity of a phone call. And also can talk to your friends. And fortunately with Mr. Park Chung, he is very famous in Chonan prison. Take good care of yourself and stay warm. Remember me in your prayers. This is the type of thing you're seeing. So you're seeing someone in the labor prison looking back and talking to someone in the detention center saying, hey, you got to get here quickly because this is so much better. That takes me to my judgment. So in judgment, Somali is now stuck in Korea for beyond his 6-month sentence. He's officially going to be there even longer. Likely a year, possibly more. If we get a verdict that's even longer, that will be great.
And then there's the likelihood that he's going to get an even bigger verdict, which means he could be stuck there for anywhere from 2 to 3 years now. Bro, we ain't going to see him for a minute.
Detention center life will be
he's going to be there
hell.
for a while.
He's stuck in there and kind of head to foot, packed in tight, stuck in the room, not going anywhere, no communication.
Bro couldn't just keep his head down and do the 6 months. He just couldn't do it. He couldn't keep his head down and do the 6 months.
No internet, all that other stuff. It is worse than the labor prison that he is stuck in. And we are still going to push, despite all of this happening, as the prosecutor has appealed, as Johnny's appealed, we're still going to push for the maximum time locked up in Korea.
Obviously.
We still think he needs to get multiple years, 2 to 3 years, and we're going to continue to push for that. But what do you guys think about his detention center hell? I want to know if it's, is it deserved? Is it too much? Let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you.
Well deserved, W legal mindset. So, any person that's telling you that the illegal immigration or immigration is bad, they're mad that their dedicated slave labor can no longer be their dedicated slave labor.
At this is really fucking embarrassing. So this woman here, mountain farm owner, struggles to find workers as immigration enforcement tightens.
It's just been harder and harder and harder to find.
Are you paying your workers a living wage? Are you paying them a living wage?
Find those people to work.
Bethany Gotts owns Quay's farm in Mountain Home, but now with fewer workers, a lot of the manual labor is left up to her. She tells me she's tried hiring locally, but it's been difficult to find people willing to do the hard work.
Finding a legal American here that is going to work as hard as an immigrant is nearly impossible.
You know why? Because you have to pay wages and you have to pay health insurance for them being a full-time worker, and you have to do this thing called abiding by the law. That's why you're mad. That's why you're sitting here on a news saying that, oh well, I can't get anybody to come and work here because nobody wants to work your 100,000 acre farm for $16 an hour. That's why nobody wants you.
She even posted job openings on Facebook.
I had 7 people contact me about it, and when I sent them the description, I had no people respond.
Yeah. We're gonna find out how. We're gonna find out why.
Gott says the increase in immigration enforcement has made it harder to find migrant workers.
Just for context, this is all about illegal migrant workers. For some reason, the host and the farmer just refuse to say it.
It's heartbreaking because they are living in fear here, an employee living in fear, and I don't blame.
Yeah. It's obvious that's what it is. Like, if you're an immigrant here, you don't have anything to be scared of. Nigel, how many times how many times since ICE has been around have you been scared? Yeah, look at that.
It's heartbreaking because
look at that. None, not a single time. Big fucking surprise.
living in fear here, an employee living in fear, and I don't blame them. They could get picked up at any moment, and then you're without an employee.
To keep her farm running, Gotts is now looking into the federal H-2A visa program.
Eon obviously don't know. Godna Fish is an immigrant. The more you know.
Which allows temporary agricultural workers into the U.S.
This year, I have endeavored to spend $200,000 to build a small.
My fiance's grandparents, they're immigrants too. They're not scared. In fact, they hate the Democratic Party. They call them demons. It's the funniest shit ever too. It's so funny, bro.
Worker housing so that I can get H2 workers next year.
Oh, look at that. She wants to put them in a fucking slave shack. Look at that, guys. She wants to build them a shack so they can live on her property. Doesn't that sound oddly familiar? Doesn't that sound really fucking familiar? Almost like a plantation, perhaps?
A small worker housing so that I can get H2 workers next year.
You're buying a little slave shack for them? Oh, that's cute.
We love our workers. They're our family. And they want to work, and they will work hard, and there needs to be a path for these people in our country because our government...
Because you can't subsidize people, and there's a big problem in this country, and instead of addressing the problem, you want to cause more problems by mass importing these illegal workers that you can pay pennies on the dollar and force to live on your farm. That's the problem.
Government has failed them.
So she's trying to literally hire indentured servants. She wants them to live on the farm and work 16 hours a day and do it for essentially slave wages.
Yep.
Anyway, people found the job listing. So take a look at this. Ranch.
This is the job listing right here.
And needed. This is the salary, $2,600 to $3,000 a month.
By the way, as people pointed out, this is for 60 to 70 hours work weeks on average. That's why...
Yes. She wants them to move onto the farm. And from these, usually you start the farming shit early in the morning, right? And you're expected to do it throughout the entire day. 12 to 17 hours a day is normal for a farmhand. It's normal. So and you're only going to be given $3,000 a month.
They say the salary is monthly and hours expected are not listed. This is potentially less than $10 an hour of very hard labor.
Experience
too. Yeah, no, you could get killed doing this labor. You have to round up the cattle because she has cows on the property. You've got to work heavy machinery. You've got to lift up on hay bales. You could really fuck your body up doing this work. This is heavy manual labor. Being a farmhand sucks. It sucks dick, dude. It's awful. And everything to boot it's just bad. You don't even get health insurance. They don't even offer you health insurance. Why do you think no American is willing to do this? Oh, but then we have to do we have to hire the illegals. No, dude. It means that you need to up your pay. You need to make it worth worth someone else's time to sit there and put in all that work.
2 to 5 years, looking for a competent ranch hand for 4,000 acres.
4,000 acres.
Position is full-time.
Approximately 100,000 permitted government acres. Ranch.
Permanent free housing. Oh yeah, you get to live inside of their acres. Position is...
Let's see. We are a small commercial cow-calf. I don't know what this is. And typically run approximately 600 mother cows. We also produce something away under wheel and pivot irrigation.
It's full-time, permanent free housing. Oh yeah, you get to live inside of their little shack.
And you know what's crazy is that boomer that set me off yesterday that I enjoyed banning. Well, if you just did this and this, bro, even if you work a normal job, you don't just do your job. You are expected to do 8 other people's jobs because these people don't want to hire anybody. And how ironic that guy was talking about a farm yesterday And here we are today showing what it actually looks like whenever you're trying to run a farm with indentured servants. Huh. That's crazy.
To spend $200,000 to build.
He must be mad because the farming business ain't working out for him.
Small worker housing. So
Really, you got something like this right here. She wants slaves, yeah. She said small twice.
I had 7 people contact me about it, and when I sent them the description, I had no people respond.
Well, there it is. If the government pitches in and it's still not enough, then maybe you should start living. How is it that not only do you make money off of the grain and shit you sell and all the milk and stuff, right? You get government subsidies. And if you can't run the farm, maybe you shouldn't have a farm. Farms used to be a bunch of family members that would run it. Like, if you can't run the farm, why do you have it? Sell it to somebody that can run it. It's because you're not trying to run a farm. You're trying to make a lucrative business, that's why. You've corrupted its purpose. What are we doing? Like, that's the only reason why you see a woman sitting there saying, yeah, I can't hire any white Americans, we need more illegals. Last time I checked, every dude that ran a farm had like a bunch of kids that all chipped in and helped. Where's your husband at? Like, the fuck? That's funny.
Making 1,000 people suddenly want to start a family. You place Hugh as soldier, stranded on a ruined lunar research station. His job
People are still talking shit about this game. Still talking shit about Pragmata. But I'm happy to inform you that on the second day of its launch, Pragmata hit 2 million sales, which is the highest sales volume this year as far as gaming goes.
a childlike android Diana while fighting rogue AI. It's out already?
I played it and beat it, and I enjoyed the hell out of the game. If you have a daughter, this is like the best father-daughter experience that you will probably ever play. It pulls at your heartstrings and makes you feel for the little girl. It really kind of, it ties it all together. Oh man. Don't worry, Kaya, you'll be free one day.
Is it good?
But no, it's a great game. Amazing game.
Yes, good.
Isn't this like Death Stranding? In one emotional moment, she gives him a crayon drawing of the two of them together as a little family.
How
Even
cute.
streamers who say at the start they didn't want kids end up breaking down happy in tears.
He's not played. No, I watched him play it last night. He played it last night.
So, what's really interesting about this is all of these
How are you going to find a way to get mad? Let's find out.
Unfuckable losers in the gaming sphere always talk about like starting families and stuff. And I don't understand like why this has become a thing that they care about. Like if you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience. You should care about things that you actually enjoy, right? If you're a fucking lonely gamer who has never been around a woman and will never...
What year is this? Like, I mean, I knew Hassan was getting old, but this is really bad. I mean, this is like a comment that like a 60-year-old man would make. I mean, really...
You see, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to the farming thing. If the system isn't working, let it fail. Stop keeping it on life support. If the farmers aren't making enough and the standards are too high for the farming industry now, let it fail so that way they can reform it and regrow it. That's what needs to happen. It needs to be reformed. If it's that bad now to where they can't turn a profit and even a pay for their own farm, then let it fail. So that way it can be reformed, so that way the government will be forced to look at it and be like, we need to change a bunch of things. Or we need to give them more money. Like, it's not crazy. Whenever you start importing illegals to work your farm, if you're failing that bad, you have to bring in indentured servants. Just let the fucker fail. Sell the farm. Get out of it. Find something else. It's not rocket science. Stop putting it on life support.
Oh,
How is it going to change if they don't see an existential crisis with it?
Video games, you ain't know what a woman is. Not like me. This is like it's an unk take. It is. This is crazy. How are you not even 40 and you're doing this?
Ever have sex with a woman?
There
Why
it
do
is.
you care? Like, why do you care about having children or like riding for having children? Like, if they change.
Well, because maybe they want to. Like, I don't know. I feel like, doesn't that make sense though, right? I mean, like, if they would want.
That is also true. Them trying to prioritize corporate-owned farms as opposed to private families. That is also another thing as well. You're right.
Have kids, then that doesn't mean that, like, a lot of people that can't get a girlfriend or something like that, I mean, you could say it's their fault, or there's like 50 different reasons why, but a lot of them want to have that lifestyle. They just think that for whatever reason, they're not able to.
Hot Cheetos. If they change the recipe of Hot Cheetos, if they change the recipe of, like, I don't know, Dr. Pepper or something, and you fucking freaked out about.
Well, speaking of that, if you look at these Hot Cheetos, you see, the bag, it used to have $1, like the $1 printed on the side here. And remember that? You go to 7-Eleven, you go to Quick Trip, and you see the $1 printed right there on there. Where is it? Where's the $1? Oh, that's right. It's not on there anymore because it's 3. It's fucking ridiculous. No, the reason why we're not talking about Hot Cheetos is because the conclusion is we've already arrived at the conclusion. And Dr. Pepper? Well, I don't know. Like, so my dad used to always get 4 12-packs of Dr. Pepper.
Y'all remember, so like whenever I was in high school, I remembered that there was a gas station up the road for where one of the houses that I stayed was, and you could get like 3 monsters for $5. Bro, like each one of the monsters now is like $7. It's crazy. Like an individual monster was like at most like $2.50, right? And then they would have the deal where it's like buy 3 get 1 free, or like no, I'm sorry, 3 for $5, right? So it's like, what the fuck? How did we go from $5 for 3 massive cans of Monster to like damn near $8 a can? That's insane.
For $10. You'd wait for them to go on sale. Now, you get 1 12-pack of Dr. Pepper for $4. Or sorry, for $10. It's insane.
Yep.
I think he's totally wrong
They
about
used to
this.
have the 2 liters as well. The 2 liters were like 2 for $5, right? And now each one of them motherfuckers is almost as expensive as an entire thing of Coke. It's insane.
We talk about these problems constantly.
Bro, we used to get that shit, and we would stay up all night playing games during high school. That's what we would do. Like, and we would just drink that shit.
That makes sense, right? Like, that's precisely what your life is about.
Yeah.
But as far as like,
just like, he's talking about me, by the way. Like, I mean,
this is pretty good.
This entire rant is just a proxy rant about me. He's thinking about me. He's talking about me.
So I've permitted you to be here, so it's time for me to prove to everybody that this isn't an echo chamber. So what have you got to add to this conversation? Do you have anything to add to this conversation other than insults? Because if all you have is insults, you've come to the wrong place. It is funny because you've been here multiple times. So I certainly hope that you've got something to say. If not, everything that you're saying currently is just useless. Do you have a counter argument for anything that I've been talking about? Do you even know what we're talking about? Let me guess, you gonna roach out like a little pussy? I hope not. I hope you didn't just roach out because the lights got clicked on, huh? I certainly hope that's not what happened. We got to make an example out of this guy since he don't want to talk. We got to make an example out of him. Y'all know what time it is, don't you? Oh, what the fuck? B-A-N. Y'all know what time it is. Woo! You're looking close. But remember, boys, I'm running an echo chamber. While I let the chat decide if we ban him, I'm running an echo chamber. Clearly, somebody doesn't know what the definition of an echo chamber is. Don't you just love it, guys? Don't you just love it? It's 71, dude. That's not going any. Oh, 69. Oh, 70. Yeah, no, I think it's over. I think it's over for this guy. Yeah, it's over for you. Well, now that I've proved that you're a jackass that knows nothing, I'm going to go ahead and perma you now because that's what my chat wants. Bye-bye.
Me. It's entirely about me. So just keep all that in mind, okay, guys? It's very important not to forget.
LARPing about starting families and whatnot.
Right.
This is something that I never understand. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, maybe there's people that want to start a family. They feel like they
That's
can't.
fine.
For
If he
just,
comes back, then I'll put it up for a vote and make more content off of it.
you know, like any reason. Who knows?
Me? Because it's just not something that you're going to experience.
Isn't it crazy that like these people in Japan were like, oh, let's make a cute game with like a
That's
guy.
right.
that,
It's
like,
the
helps
Thunderdome in here, bro. It's the Thunderdome in here. You come in here talking shit, I'm gonna push your ass off the side and watch the fucking Thunderdome kick in.
You know, kid robot. And then like these Americans are like, well, I'm not a breeding slave. You can't tell me what to do. Oh, this is destroying the Foids. The Foids can't handle this video game. It's sending them back to factory settings. Oh, what? You think having a kid is like this? What are you? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's an older guy with a young girl. Oh, I know who's into this. Fucking weirdos. Like, really? Imagine you make something like this. You send it over to North America. The Goyim have gone insane. They've completely gone crazy.
It's a form of suppression. They're trying to suppress you. You're never gonna reason somebody out of a situation they didn't reason themselves into. They're not here to have a rational conversation. They're here to incite a form of oppression because they don't like what you're saying. Like, that's, if you think about it and you put yourself in their shoes, if you don't like what somebody's saying, then you're just going to try and suppress them however you can. If I would be in a public space, they would try to attack me. They would actually try to fist fight me. Hold on, give me a second. Sorry about that. The person that is connected to me is banging on the wall, and I thought it was somebody at the door. Okay.
I don't know what's happened.
Ever for your life, for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's just sitting here quietly.
You know what's really sad about this is that Hassan can't even enjoy a game that's actually really good. He can't even enjoy a game because he's too busy trying to follow the flow of this weird narrative they're spinning online with this game. So, everybody's really mad that there is a little girl in this game. And they don't like that characters... No, specifically, she's not being sexualized. They don't like that women are being sexualized in games. So I guess the only alternative to this is that we've got to take women out of games altogether. But then you get called sexist for doing that. At what point do you just stop stooping to this level and realize how stupid it is? Like, you're sexist for having them in the game. You're sexist for not having them in the game. Well, fuck it. You might as well do whatever one's going to sell the most, make the most money, right? Like, it's weird, right? What is the alternative to this? Well, you can't have women being sexualized in games. Okay, but then if you put a woman in a light where she looks like shit, then you get the other side of that, which is, she's not fat or she's too skinny. And it's like, you're never going to make these people happy. These people never intended to buy the game. Don't listen to them. It doesn't matter what they think. If you make a game like this, and it makes the most sold game in 2026 so far, just ignore them. They were never going to buy the game. You don't need them to like the game. The game is just good. They made a good game, and that's just all there is to it. Just ignore them. If you make a good product, you don't have to make excuses for it.
Okay, what?
Japanese game, putting a child in there.
You really had to think about... This is the like... I am actually the least racist person on this website. It's crazy that I am the least racist person. Meanwhile, if I say the same thing about Iran, where they can actually marry kids over there, oh, now I'm
like any Japanese game, you put like a child.
Yeah. And you know those Japanese, they're gonna love it, right?
Damn, so you can't say that word at all anymore. Okay. Holy shit, so I'm gonna have to start really if Asmon's blocking that word out, I'm gonna have to stop saying that word then. I'm gonna have to stop saying that word. Holy shit. If they're blocking it on Asmon's channel, then they're really trying to crack down on this stuff, huh? That really sucks. So yeah, I'm gonna use that word as the P word now. I'm gonna say the P word whenever I'm trying to refer to the ediphiles. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so the P word. So what Hassan is practically saying is that because the game was made in Japan, that they have a monopoly on the P words over there. And I hate to break it to you, Hassan, but every country in the entire world has the P word in their culture and society in some way, shape, or form. That's just how it is. Now, how you handle them in your culture is definitely vastly different than some other cultures. But at the end of the day, I don't think I could possibly say what I think should happen to them. You know what? I got something. Hold on. I think I can. Sandpaper room where the person walks until they die. I don't think I can't find it. I found a picture of it though. Let me try this. I can't find it.
I mean, right, bro? Like, so true.
Oh, I found it.
You know, they're weirdos and shit. They like little kids. I mean, just say it.
Here we go.
Just say that's clearly what you're implying.
Here we go.
That's obvious.
This isn't quite what I want, but I'll take it. It's a nice little second. Here we go.
A victim is placed naked in the metal room with a rough grit sandpaper conveyor belt floor. The floor is moving very slowly and never stops. The victim would have to walk constantly to avoid being scraped. The victim will tire and pass out, and the conveyor would pin him against the wall and start scraping his flesh. This will wake the victim up and keep him in agony until he bleeds out days later.
So what we gotta do is we gotta make a farm with a bunch of these. We gotta like line them up, right? And then once we line them all up, we can sell tickets to this. And then once we do that, you know, everything will be good. You know, the economy will thrive. We'll be able to buy houses for veterans, so that way they don't have to worry about it once they get out of their service. You know what I'm saying?
See what you're implying. Just say it. Meanwhile, if I say the same thing about Iran, where they can actually marry kids over there, oh no, I'm terrible. Oh, you can't say that. I can't do this. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. What are we doing?
It's a little. It's gonna invite.
It's gonna invite
maybe the worst possible.
He's right. Look at this video game and they'll be attracted to the character. That's true. Yep. I think the solution to that, and the thing is, it happens with adult women too. I think the solution to this is to just not have them in video games anymore. Just take them out.
There you go.
We shouldn't have young women, right?
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right. I
also
mean,
women that are older, they didn't consent to being sexualized. So I think that the only natural solution to this is
take
that
them out.
we just remove women from video games, period. And that way, there's no way this could happen.
Exactly.
I think that just makes sense, right? Just only guys. Like, every game is Gears of War.
A fandom, you know? I know it's not like that.
Like, what do you think the alternative to this is? It just makes no sense.
Game is not like that, but there will be people who take it like that.
Well, I guess that means there's something wrong with the game. I mean, if there's a weirdo that turned the game into something weird, that means it's the game's fault. And, you know, there's an implicit, you know, guilt with Japan. Like, oh, well, I mean, don't we? We have, listen, no country has a monopoly. Like, Japan has this problem. We have this problem. Iran.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this fucking... Is this Lord of the Rings? Yearning, sensitive young man. Half-breed. You're calling yourself a half-breed? What to say? Trump is going to expect the Supreme Court to betray him and rule against his birthright citizenship executive order.
President Trump says the expects the Supreme Court to betray him and rule against his birthright citizenship executive order, effectively rendering U.S. citizenship meaningless for an invasion of this country.
Then just do another one. Do another one the day after, right? It's pretty simple. And it's really that's what I would do if I was them, right? Just do another one. Like, you're sexualizing a character that, like, why are you trying to look up the skirt of a 7-year-old, you know, portrayed girl? Like, why would you?
This dude, the official Pragmata account has blocked me from making a post calling out Diana's censored design. What the actual fuck? What the fuck is wrong with these people, man? We got to get these people, we got to round them up and put them into work camps. Like, what the fuck?
I
What
mean,
the
I
fuck?
know why. It's because you're a fucking weirdo. Like, that's why. I mean, duh.
And then he
like,
seriously made another post asking why he got blocked. Holy
fuck.
shit,
Like, yeah,
bro.
it's just weird. Like, who the fuck does this? I wonder why they blocked you. Yeah, some of these people are just sick, man. They are just fucking sick. And why can't people just be normal around this game?
Right? Seriously.
Told you why. I gave you 50 different reasons. Check that guy's hard drive. Over the top stupidity. This is a false flag. Which well played, but they need someone to point and look at, hey, this game is for creeps. There are tons of weirdos that are into a game like this. There are. Like, but the thing is that there's going to be weirdos that are into any game with an underage female character. That's just what happens because there are weirdos that are into underage female people. None of it matters until she gets deported, which is what I really want to say.
Look at this crazy ass bitch.
And ex-girlfriend gone crazy. Uh-oh.
Tell her to pick me up now.
All right. I feel bad for her kid. Let's see it.
You don't tell me what the fuck to do no more, bro. Fuck no.
I bet she was just a peach to be with in a relationship.
Look at this crazy ass bitch.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Holy shit. What a fucking... Oh my god, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, hell no!
Bro, what the fuck? Really, bro? Really? Really? Chill.
Bro, if she got kids, they need to take her goddamn kids away and put her in the loony bin. What the fuck? Hell no!
Chill.
Damn, is she in there attacking him too?
Bro, chill, bro. Ali, chill. Chill, bro.
You breaking shit? Bro, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ. Bro. Really?
What the fuck even is that? Oh man, she threw it at him? He needs to beat the fuck out of her.
Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Get away from me. Get off me, bro. Get off me. Get off me, bro. Please, stop.
Well, she in there attacking you and throwing shit at you. In your own house?
What do you mean? Oh my god.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Throws a fucking brick through the window and runs in the house.
I absolutely believe in equal rights. I also believe in equal ass whoopings too.
Oh my god, jailer? I know. Like, what a sicko. What a freak, man. Just knock her out? You can't do that. It's a woman. And where's the self-defense part? Unfortunately missing. Very, very unfortunately missing. I'm sure he'll go to jail for multiple years because of this. I'm tired, boss. What is this? Pragmata is a psyop to counter decades of anti-natalist propaganda and bring up global birth rates. You guys don't want children, you want pets? Oh my god.
You know, I kind of believe that. Honestly, you guys don't want children, you want pets. I can kind of see it.
What the fuck? Like, what?
Pragmata is a psyop to counter decades of anti... Ugh.
Playing with something? I mean, I don't even understand. Like, what are you trying to say? What are you trying? 63,000 likes. So there's a lot of, and I do think that there is a lot of messaging that is directed towards people not having kids. I do. I think it's overwhelmingly, one direction in that way. Now, obviously not everybody, but I think in a lot of cases it is definitely true. So we'll see what happens. And my kid acts like a dinosaur. None of this only charged high degree. Yeah, it's childless men do not have parental instincts the way that childless women have maternal instincts.
Wait, what? Yo. What the fuck is that? Wait, what is that?
New HBO adaptation. Be careful. That one might actually be real.
Got a truck that says white privilege on it, bro.
I know what this is.
The entitlement of these
Damn, that is a nice truck, though. And it's a fuck. It's oh, I love it, bro. Oh my, dude, this is the internet in a nutshell. Seriously. This is straight up America right here, boys.
Welcome to the South. That's right. And lots of strange reactions to this game. Let's clear some things up. Childless men do not have parental instincts the way that childless women have maternal instincts. More femcel slop. Total femcel slop once again. Oh my fucking god. So, when you pet something cute, he's gonna pet her.
So cute. Can I pet?
Yeah.
Men are not nurturers. Men don't gush over cute kids in public. Men don't have baby fever. If a man wants to possess a child for any reason other than it being a product of his own lineage, he's likely a predator. And you'd be talking to the feminist, radical, gender abolitionist position to protest any of those above points. This should explain why a, quote, dad simulator game marketed at mostly childless men gives people the creeps. Now, I don't know whether you got groomed as a kid, your dad didn't pay enough attention to you, or you had some other bad experience. Probably all of the above, realistically.
Exactly,
but
bro.
We don't need to hear you externalize your trauma for the rest of the world. Yes, who hurt you? This is the kind of, again, it is fem slop. This is the exact kind of thing that women say on the internet. We don't have a problem with incels. We have a problem with femcells. This is insane. What are you talking about? Like, men don't have paternal instincts. Men are likely predators. Yeah, let me guess. You got groomed and so you think this?
Right?
Not all women. Not all women. Well, here's the problem for like the 3% of women that are watching the stream. Y'all don't hold your own accountable. You don't. Like, whenever somebody...
I can't say that. Well, maybe on his stream, but I can't lie. I've seen a lot of these women that watch me. They feisty. Man, you got to be careful with them. They even hold the men accountable sometimes.
Is that all y'all are afraid of being called like a pick-me or like, oh, like she's just saying this. This is the issue, is that like when a guy says something that's like pejorative about women, well, he's right. But oh, no, I'm just kidding. Well, sometimes. But the problem is that a lot of men will call that out and say, no, that's not true. That's a weird Capcom is a goated developer and publisher. They really are. They make incredible games, and I think it's
Capcom. There's a good chance that Capcom's new games are going to probably be contenders for Game of the Year. Between Resident Evil, is it 9? There's also Pragmata. There's also, what else was there? Wasn't there another Capcom game? I thought maybe there was another Capcom game.
I saw this. It had 31 million views. 31, oh my god.
Every child deserves...
The first Nigerian to play chess at the Louvre, the world's most prestigious museum.
Every child deserves a fair chance.
Man, this guy's drip is crazy. Hold on. We got to talk about, dude, that looks kind of sick.
Greatness. Not because of where they come from, but by the dream they carry in their heart.
Man, this guy's an inspiration. Yo, W, chess. Wow. I remember there was a time where no matter where you turned on the internet, you would see inspirational stories like this.
Damn.
Like, that's fucking awesome, man. Like, how could you possibly... Logos, Nigeria. Dude, I'm sorry. That drip goes hard. That looks really good. Yo. Who designed that?
Ranked anywhere as a chess player. It's just a random guy. Like, and again, this is pure marketing. This is a guy that he spent all of his money on his outfit. It's like, whenever you're leveling in a new expansion in WoW, somebody's not even max level, but they have all of their gear transmogged. But like, you look at them on a damage meter and they're like number 17th under 2 tanks, right? Some black dude turned up to a public museum dressed like...
and played chess against himself, and other Nigerians are congratulating him in the comments.
And so, no disrespect, but why is everyone congratulating him for playing chess at a public museum? Again, wow, he was invited to the Louvre? No, he just went on his own and stood outside. But he was there for a chess tournament? No, there was no chess tournament. But surely he's a great and noted chess player? No, he doesn't even rank in the top 25 in Nigeria.
Damn. So it was all fake. Got baited, boys.
I think it's just, it's how ridiculous.
It's kind of funny, though, like...
ridiculous it is that somebody is like this first Nigerian to
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the guy... Oh, man, this was a huge trend. He had, like, the bottles of the Perez water, and he, like, would dunk his face or whatever, and then he would, like, he showed, like, his everyday life, and, like, he did, like, the swimming thing, and everyone immediately called it out because of the time gap that didn't even happen. Or like it happened so quick, or like the lights being out, like it being dark out, and him saying that it was like early in the morning when the sun was just basically like cusping out of the backdrop, or the clock even like didn't line up with the time that was on the phone that they had said time it was, right? Y'all remember that?
Chess at the Louvre. He's not even playing it against anybody else, right? He's just playing chess by himself. You think he cured cancer, but it's just a black guy that knows about chess. I guess so. And wow, they set the bar so low for Africa. Jesus Christ. We flex a lot of meaningless things. Yeah, it is a little meaningless, right? But there it is.
That shit's funny. That is hilarious. Is that everything? Oh, no. Here we go. We got the UK.
Really? Oh, no. Nigel Farage says X is becoming a dangerous place.
I would add that the online abuse on X that our minority candidates are receiving is utterly appalling in every way.
Oh, cry about it. Boo-hoo. People get death threats online and... Bro.
It really, really is bad. X is now becoming a very unpleasant...
What's the matter? Are you mad because you can't censor the richest man in the world that's allowing people to post whatever they want? Damn. Must suck. What's the matter? You can't spin your narrative? Man.
Very dangerous place.
I think that using the word dangerous because somebody's racist on Twitter is retarded.
Hi, my name is Bassey Williams. I am one of the 3 reform candidates for Hazelbury Ward. Please, on May the 7th...
Of course they're mad about this. She can't even fucking speak English. What the fuck's she doing trying to run for office in Britain? What are we doing?
Crazy.
Do I have to be the one to say it?
She's trying to run for office in Britain? What the fuck? It's not even that she's black, bro. It's that she's not even from that country.
My name is Bassey
not
Williams.
Even from that. Like,
I'm one of the 3 reform candidates for.
How the fuck you moved to a different country? How has this happened? What are you gonna reform? You're just gonna let in more immigrants, like more illegals?
Please, on May the 7th.
Of course they're mad about this. She can't even fucking speak English. What the fuck's she doing trying to run for office in Britain? What are we doing?
Exactly, like, what?
I feel like I'm taking crazy, dog.
Remember to vote for all the reform candidates, 3 of us.
I think they're trolling us now. Exactly. So this is the candidate Mohammed Sharia. Like, I mean, this is like the name that Kojima would give a candidate in the UK. Like, this is like a J.K. Rowling Kojima name. Mohammed Sharia. So these are the candidates? Let's see. It's not very
what the fuck?
Mohammed Sharia. So these are the candidates? Let's see. It's not very reform. Yeah, I feel like it's not really so Rupert Lowe.
It doesn't seem very diverse.
A comment about it. Farage can't hide behind pathetic accusations of racism to defend his choice to stand with a Bangladeshi migrant in Portsmouth. I'm sure
right.
Addy Azum's my. Is that even a real? Like, I'm gonna be real. I don't even know if this is a real name or not. Did he just make up a name of like Israel? I don't know.
Bangladesh candidate. Why the fuck do you want someone from Bangladesh running Britain? You should want someone from Britain running Britain. How does that lead, like this isn't a fucking supermodel contest, bro. Like, what are we doing?
I don't even know if this is a real name or not. Did he just make up a name of like Israel? I don't know. I'm sure Addy Azumari is a great bloke and I wish him well in his election, if that election is in Bangladesh. British elections for British people.
It's a political impossibility to deport hundreds of thousands of people. We simply can't do it.
Watch. It's easier than you think.
If we politically alienate the whole of Islam, we will lose.
Unbelievable diversity. So this is the diversity of the Restore Britain party. Nobody in Restore Britain gives a shit.
And you're damn straight, they shouldn't either. They shouldn't give a shit at all. You know why? Because they're probably all British, and they care about their country.
Oh my God. Yeah, there it is. I have no interest in tolerating cultures that wouldn't afford us the same respect. If you're a foreigner in our country and you treat women like dirt, you hate the British way of life, you can't even speak our language, refuse to pay your way, and make no effort to adapt to our society, a Restore Britain government will deport you. Change
W. Rupert Lowe. W. Restore Britain.
Your ways to fit us, not the other way around.
Exactly.
If I lived in a Muslim country, I wouldn't expect them to alter their culture to accommodate me. Of course not. So let's stop bending over backwards to tolerate the intolerable. This is Britain. We do things our way, the British way, proudly, unapologetically, and without compromise.
Thank
you. This is, by the way, like his messaging about this is perfect.
And the low thing, it's one angry man.
It's a lot of
Nigel Farage is now publicly calling Rupert Lowe one angry man on the internet. You think he's the only one? He's been disenfranchised, told that because of the fact that he's Britain, he should feel bad for what happened and how he came to be a Briton. You think he's the only one that's mad? He's having his tax dollars ripped from him after working and busting his ass and given to families that are being bussed in from a foreign country and while him and his family suffer to make ends meet. Yeah. You think he's the only one that's mad? Shit. There's a lot of mad people.
Saying stuff on the internet. Look.
Yeah?
Let him do what he wants. He doesn't marry me.
There's a lot of people that agree with him. That's the problem. Farage is the definition of controlled opposition. This is, of course, Restore Britain. So they're crashing out over some people being racist about, like, the candidates. I think that it's very easy to acknowledge that when you have people that are not ethnically or culturally from Britain that are trying to run for a conservative party, then I think you've got a big problem. People see that, they read somebody's name like that, and they say, this isn't somebody who's British. And you would easily say something.
And that's the reason why here in America, you see a lot more hate speech, hate comments, and people trying to put you down on the internet. It's because the only thing they can try to do is mobilize a bunch of fucking Karens and force you off the internet by, like, berating you, demeaning your character. In a place like Britain, you get arrested for having an opposing view. You do. Like, You don't, like, a lot of people that are in America don't realize how good they have it whenever they're down there protesting in No Kings with fucking communist flags. You don't understand how good you have it. You don't.
Like that about somebody in Japan or China or anywhere else. But for some reason, this is a big problem that white countries have. In my opinion, I think people should be able to decide who rules over them for better or for worse. And if they want to vote based off of something that you think is racist, then that's too fucking bad. Too bad.
Exactly.
That's the way it is.
Exactly.
Interesting video. If you want to link whatever you want me to react to, prefer to join discord.gg Fortress Techtown and post your videos in the Daily Scramble. Realize leftist is a monster. So this is David Rubin of the Rubin Report.
Do you actually mean that?
Or is that a rhetorical move or like a solidarity signal?
You gave me a perfect segue to the next thing that I wanted to hit on, which is that this guy, Hassan Piker, who...
Of course! A human monster piece of shit. And dude, when Valkyrie and Hassan break up, I cannot wait to hear about Valkyrie's experience. That is going to be fun. Ooh! That is going to be a blast.
Believe it or not, I worked with at the Young Turks many lifetimes ago. He is one of the worst human beings I have ever come across.
True.
He is a multi-millionaire communist, quasi-Islamist who is telling his kids, and it's kids that are watching him on Twitch, literally how to build suicide drones, that 9/11 was good, that Hamas is good.
Spread their red capitalist blood was a statement that he said as well.
When you describe Hassan, it sounds so far-fetched that people will just assume that you're lying. Everything he just said is real.
Yeah, it's been clipped. It's been clipped and shown multiple times. It's all real.
But he said, like, dude, it literally
He just says it,
made a great comment where if you were to write...
And you wonder why there are members in our politics right now that are running as Democratic candidates that are siding with Hassan. It's not a bug, it's a feature. They support the same viewpoints.
A Disney character that said and did and acted the exact way Hassan does, Disney would throw it out saying it's unrealistic, nobody's that evil. So that's very fitting. Because it sounds fake. It literally sounds fake.
That he has nothing. He walked the streets of China and said he has nothing to be proud of as an American. He went on one of these.
Well, then move to China. Then move to China. You have the resources to do it. Just go to China.
Bro podcasts, and here he is saying that Hamas is better than Israel, and actually he would vote for Hamas.
When you say Hamas is 1,000 times better,
That's
do you actually
crazy.
mean that? Or is that a rhetorical move or like a solidarity signal? Like what?
No.
I mean, it's all of the above. I do mean it. I think it's a rhetorical move because it frustrates a lot of people. I've also said I'm a harm reduction voter. I'm a lesser...
I want
harm reduction voter?
Really hear what he is that he's saying and hear that Hassan, without any clipping, without any cut context, says, I agree with that statement.
It's better. Do you actually mean that? Or is that a rhetorical move or like a solidarity signal? Like what?
I mean, it's all of the above. I do mean it. I think it's a rhetorical move because it frustrates a lot of people. I've also said I'm a harm reduction voter. I'm a lesser evil voter, and therefore I would vote for Hamas over Israel every single time.
So Hassan said that he would vote for Hamas over Donald Trump, over Israel, in every single scenario. A quite literal
terrorist
organization.
It's a... Oh, shit.
And he's...
Damn it, Tectone. I didn't even realize. Sorry, Tectone. Bastard. I guess I'll go to the side. Damn it, Tectone.
He stands on that like it's based. The guy is out of his fucking mind.
Katie, I mean...
I don't think he's out of his mind at all. I think he's saying what he thinks, and the thing is that he's tolerated in the society.
What?
And a lot of people don't take him seriously, but you should.
I go from laughing to like, this is super dangerous. I mean, this guy is on the record multiple times, dozens of times, calling for murder of people he disagrees with politically.
I think that if you are a Twitch streamer, a live streamer, a content creator, and you are encouraging your audience to kill people, you're giving them instructions on how to do it, and you stand...
You should immediately be deplatformed. You should be banned off of everything. If you've got 35,000 people that watch you constantly, and you're sitting there advocating to kill somebody like that, it's time for you to go.
On business, when questioned about it, I believe you should lose your platform, and I believe you should be jailed. I don't think freedom of speech...
No, like, you need to go to jail. Like, that is another good point that Tectone does bring up. If you're advocating for death that is not protected in our Constitution, you need to go to jail. If you're in a Discord chat or you're in a fucking on a Twitter page and you're like, I'm gonna do you in or whatever, then you need to go to jail. The FBI needs to find you and put you in jail.
Should cover that. I think it is far too dangerous for content creators to weaponize their audience for murder and face zero repercussions.
Yeah, I
Considering now that there have been 3 assassinations, as well as many injuries of people who say they did it because they support Hassan. And then Hassan claims they're false flaggers. Where's the accountability? Where's the repercussions? Where's the punishment? Nowhere. And until there's repercussions, this will continue to happen.
Just like a good Hamas supporter would do.
Yeah, blood in the streets. Yeah.
And yet Democrats are campaigning with him for the midterm elections. This is not some guy who's on the far fringes of the internet. He is actively working with the Democratic Party on the campaign.
That's the craziest part about it. And they have asked the Democratic Party people that are backing Hassan or are talking about Hassan and how their ideals line up. And they're not denouncing any of the stuff that Hassan has said. You people, y'all should be scared. Y'all should be terrified. Like, there's actively a form of terrorist organization that is trying to take over the country. Like,
campaign trail. And it just goes to show how far the left has gone to solidify this communist Islamist partnership that they're using.
They are out of their fucking mind. And that's the reason why channels like mine are still succeeding, because I don't need to convince you of any political agenda. I don't need to convince my chat of anything. You can use your eyes and see exactly what it is of which I'm referring to with no spin, with no political pushing whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm saying, hey, here's what they're hiding from you. You can watch it with your own eyes. And then you
and
say,
then think about how many videos I've done on, or even Asman. Think about how many videos Asman has done on Ilhan Omar, the fraud, Minneapolis, the protests in Minneapolis. And if you try to look any of that stuff up now, you can't find it. I mean, you could find it, but you have to dig for it. You have to actively dig for it. Think about that. Think about how crazy that shit is. They actively try to suppress it once the big drama is over with. They try to suppress it. That's what they do.
damn, my eyeballs work great. Wow, that's fucked up. I can't believe people are actually doing this. And that's the best type of connection. That's the best type of how you get people to listen and kind of rally behind your cause, which is, I would like to take my country back, and I would like these bad actors to be punished severely. And it's really that simple.
This anti-Americanism that they are not just shying away from, but fully endorsing and embracing. I mean, it's wild. He was at Yale University, I believe it was on Tuesday, talking about, again, which he said before, that the fall of the communist USSR was one of the worst things that's ever happened to the country. I mean, it's absolutely crazy that the Democrats are endorsing this guy.
So, Mikhail, for those of us that don't want the Democrats,
it blows my fucking mind that there are people that back this guy that don't even realize, like, if you're a woman and you back somebody like Hassan who believes in the communist regime, you do realize that the communist regime will take all of your rights away as a woman. You will have no rights. You will effectively be a stay-at-home person again with no chance of being able to go out and make a living. They'll take it all away. I don't understand, like, the mentality behind this.
That's to be in power or win the midterms or whatever. We should sort of want them to attach.
Are you noticing how all the Republicans just look like normal people and all the leftists just look like deranged trans freaks? Are we noticing that? Because world, not specific parts of the world.
Let's move on from this. We might have to break this one up into some sections. But Nick Shirley interviewed Big Balls, and Big Balls was somebody that worked in Doge.
Big Balls.
And so while Elon Musk was in, was in the this is a podcast. Was in the White House, right?
$5,000 a second. What percentage of our economy you think is upheld by fraud? Say they eliminate all fraud. What percentage of our economy is gone?
I think it's a meaningful percentage, but it's less than we think. I think a lot of the money that's going towards fraud is not contributing to our domestic economy. It's going internationally. It's going back to Somalia, especially for some of the Minnesota, Somalia, and fraud cases. So I think a lot of the money is actually, contributing negatively to us, and it's not adding to our GDP, and it's going to these other countries.
Really, that's a different response than I would have thought, because I think if they were to eliminate all fraud, for instance, like Medicare and Medicaid, I wonder how many of these little clinics you'd see everywhere, how many of these daycares you'd see for childcare, for instance, how many of these places that are receiving all this.
Because you have to keep in mind that, like, if you have all these clinics everywhere and health insurance everywhere that are all fraud, and like, if anything, it should make the cost of the cost of insurance, for example, for health insurance plummet. But how is it that somehow it keeps going up, How does it keep getting worse? There has to be something that we're not seeing behind the closed doors that we haven't found yet, right? Surely.
Of that would affect the economy.
I don't think it would, super deeply affect the economy.
You don't think it would?
I mean, the GDP is just a measure of how much money is being exchanged.
Like, do you think it's safe to say that 10% of our economy is from fraudulent money?
There's fraudulent money from the government, and then there's fraud, period, where, private people are ripping off private companies or private people.
Hold on, wait a minute. I actually have to move the camera back. Oop. There we go.
I think there is a percentage of the economy which is held up by the government, but I don't think it's a meaning.
The guy on the top of the screen can't even speak. Do you have anything to add? Do you have a counter argument for anything? Do you have anything to add to an argument that we're talking about right now? Or are you just here to cause problems and get banned? No? Nothing? Nothing? Nothing at all? No? Nothing? We damn sure, sensitive. What a freaking freako. Here you go. We gonna ban this idiot? Start poll. Woo! Come on, boys, get it to 100. Oh! 73. We gonna ban this guy? This guy right here? He clearly has nothing to add to the conversation, but I'm gonna make some content out of him anyway, whether he likes it or not, so... Damn, 75%. Oh, it's dropping a little bit. I think that might be it. Ooh, it's kind of sticking at 70%. I think this guy's cooked. I think you're cooked, man. Yeah, you're cooked, man. Well, I certainly hope you enjoyed your time with us, but now we must say bye-bye to the Garbo. That's what you are, you're garbage. Bye-bye, garbage. So we ban him because he said something I don't like and I'm a little bitch. That's interesting. So do you have anything to add to the conversation other than acting like a little bitch? What's the matter? You mad because you can't sit here and bully anybody? Man, chat's gonna be eating good today. Chat's eating good today, boy. Let me tell you what. Chat is eating hearty today. If you have anything to add to the conversation or a counter argument towards anything that we're talking about, by all means. But if you're just going to call me names or you're going to call anybody in chat names, I'm just going to ban you. I'm going to make fun of you and then I'm going to ban you. Because all you have is your words. Because, with Trump taking all them fat W's across the board, that's all you guys got left. With your 2 whole subscribers, huh? Man, that's crazy, though. Looks like another one for the crow's nest, boys. See you, loser. Bye-bye. Banning is not freedom. Well, I hate to break it to you, but for the most part in this comment section, it's a dictatorship. It's my channel. If you don't like it, then find somewhere else to go.
Full percentage of GDP. I think it's probably less than you think.
Never once have I said that being on this channel and saying stupid shit would allow you to continue being here. I've always said that this is a dictatorship, brother.
And the reason for that
Yo,
is
W10 jewels for the gold nugget.
You know, it is true that, you know, people will receive the fraudulent money and then they'll go out and buy cars. They'll buy Mercedes and BMWs. But a lot of the money is being, you know, kind of stolen and siphoned out of the country. And I think that's a very meaningful percentage as well.
Once that money's gone, it's never coming back.
No, definitely
Once
not.
that money's in a
Yeah,
suitcase to Somalia, it's never coming back.
Yeah, we can't sue for that money back. No way. Yeah, the money's gone.
We're not going to go get it from that terrorist group over there.
Probably not, no.
I don't think we'll be able to get that. And right now we're in a pivotal point in the country because if you look at this graph, this has mainly gone up since 2020. We've had exponential increases in the debt. And it's affecting people like me and you and our generation the most. You're 20 years old, I'm 23, and between me and you at Doge and me exposing the fraud and what the work you guys did at Doge is it really put a highlight on the fraud that's taking place here inside the United States because everyone knew that fraud was happening, but nobody really knew how bad it was. And then when you look at these graphs like this, you understand that if we don't get this under control, whether it be fraudulent spending or just government spending in general, our generation really will not have the opportunity that all these other generations before us had. Because look, they didn't have that much of an increase in debt. That means their dollar was worth more and they're able to buy more stuff with their dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at these graphs since 2020...
But remember, guys, whenever you've got a boomer that gets online and tells you that you should just buy a farm so that way you can hire a bunch of indentured servants, and then, I don't know, I don't even know how you come to that conclusion. Look, I get that a lot of y'all that made all that money, yo, that's great for y'all. Don't sit there and try to act like y'all in the same economy that whenever y'all started. Don't do that.
One, the debt has been going up each and every single year.
I guess a good way to look at this is we're basically borrowing against...
I guarantee you, if you find somebody that was your age and you try to walk them through the same process, like you show up to the bank with them to try and get them the same loans, it's not going to be even remotely the fucking same. Like, you'd have to find somebody with the exact same credit score, the exact same age you were whenever you did it. That's who you'd have to find. And see the fucking difference. See the difference. See the difference.
Of our United States dollar. So you might not feel it right away, but over time we've definitely felt, for example, the prices of homes increase. It's now much harder to get a home in America. And that's because we've been continuing to borrow against our dollar's value. And at some point, you know, the quote-unquote margin call will happen, and we will have to print more money to start satisfying this debt and start servicing it better. I mean, this slope is pretty insane. Why? It's pretty disabilities. They can't see, they can't move. And one of my friends was, you know, do the things that our parents and our grandfathers were. The way that these programs.
I don't know about this, man. I'm about to sit here and start yawning. Yo, W Nick Shirley, but man, you gotta get an editor to edit this down to the good key points. This is just too long, man. This is way too long. I'm sorry, dude. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. Ooh.
Army Chemical Safety Chief. Wait, what the fuck?
What is this? Ooh. Undiscovered journalist Andrew Higg. Hug?
Wait,
Hug.
What the fuck? What is this? If Mojama doesn't change his ways, yeah, they're going to kill him. The easiest way to get intelligence, send a pretty girl, talk to the guy, I have to resist your eyes. Your eyes have mesmerized me so much, it's almost like you're in intelligence.
Jeez, man.
What a stupid ass man.
Literally
He
just
acknowledges
sat
the
down
US
with
airstrikes
somebody
have
and
killed
started-
children in Iran, calling it collateral damage, and revealed to the journalist how nuclear launch decisions are being made in real time. Hug describes if the United States could assassinate Iran's next leader if he doesn't change, while admitting the U.S. has no plans to use nuclear weapons. We're not going to nuke anybody. Why would you? Oh my God.
Again, we don't have to. We don't have to.
Chemical weapon. It's like Pandora's box.
A nuclear and chemical safety branch chief in the United States Department of the Army spills detailed information about their possession of nerve agents.
Nerve agents?
Revealing that a U.S. Army chemist was exposed to the nerve agent due to careless handling.
She's supposed to wear all this gear, and she's like, I don't like it. She just wore like Crocs and her own clothes. Yeah. And so it's soaked in her clothes. And just soaked very well on her skin. So she could literally start touching stuff. Other people would touch like a door, and then people would die.
Then goes on to.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
A door, and then people would die.
Then goes on to.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? What the fuck? God damn.
So they could spread that shit around and then activate it and then everyone would die.
Reveal intimate details about the U.S. nuclear arsenal.
So you said there's missiles underground in.
Oh my God. This guy's
also
just
discloses that the United States military has no official plans to nuke Iran.
Oh man, come on!
We're not thinking about nuking anybody. We're not moving nukes. We're not going to nuke it.
And the exact methods that the U.S. uses to defend against nuclear attacks.
We have all these sensors in space. We have radars, all these sensors to detect a launch. Space satellites with radars, you'll see it. On the radar, you'll actually see the thing flying.
And confirms what many have suspected, that Ukrainian officials were using the money sent from the United States to buy themselves mansions and luxury sports cars.
I worked on Obama's tax money that he sent. They just stole it, and they bought houses, cars, like $100,000 cars. If they can get themselves rich and leave and go live in Dubai, that's better than, they don't care about the people.
Oh wow, big surprise. Well, hot damn, look at that.
Man, oh God, this doesn't look good, huh?
That government is so corrupt. You want to spy, right? Your eyes have mesmerized me so much that I'm almost going to tell you. That's why that's the easiest way to get intelligence. Like, just send a pretty girl, talk to the guy.
That is crazy, bro. What?
This is crazy. That's so fucking embarrassing. Oh my God. Wow. He even knows.
U.S. Department of the Army.
I do work with like chemical weapons, nuclear weapons, but I do the safety, security stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the chief of chemical nuclear surety.
Wow. He's only had the job. Damn, bro, you're gonna get fired after only a year. That's not gonna look good on your
Almost 2, so about whenever he gets fired, it'll probably be at like 2 years.
resume.
I think you can get put in jail for doing that too. Like what he's talking about to just a random person, he could end up in jail for doing that.
Not many people like outside.
Yeah, it's gonna look really bad.
In this world, surety means safety, reliability, security. It's like all the
right.
to make surety just means like
really
all
bad
the things
on
to
his
keep it
resume.
safe. I make sure the people are reliable. There's no psycho
Give me a
people.
second. I have to use the damn bathroom. Hold on. Okay.
Working on the weapons. You don't want a psycho person with access to that stuff.
Andrew Hogg is a nuclear and chemical surety branch chief with the U.S. Department of the Army. He reveals a surprising amount of detailed information to our undercover journalists about the locations of the U.S. nuclear arsenal and the method.
What the fuck? You dumbass.
Do we have to, like, in order, like, is there an argument that we can only have eunuchs that are at the top level of government? I mean, the curse of flesh is just too strong. Like, this is how many cases has this happened? Like, it's too much.
China's building more. They're planning to build more than we.
You see, like, what I had said originally, with 4 years of them being on the Senate floor for 12 hours a day, every single day, 365 days a year for 4 years, where they're not able, they get debanked and all their assets are seized prior to them becoming a senator, and they're not allowed to have outside contact with anybody for 4 years. That's becoming more and more reasonable, isn't it, boys? More and more reasonable. Well, actually, in this instance, it wouldn't work, huh? Because this is supposed to be somebody that's like part of security. Well, I guess we got to pull out the eunuchs.
So that's the problem. Is like we have all these sensors in space. We have radars. All these sensors to detect.
How's it going, T-Money?
This is crazy. Launch coming from someone else.
Yeah, with space satellites, with radars, you'll see it on the radar. You actually see the thing flying.
I mean, got to make the punishment. Got to make the punishment too harsh for anyone to do. So, I mean, treason with capital punishment. I mean,
it is the speed. That's a missile. I mean, you can tell all this stuff.
According to Andrew Hogg, nuclear officials that oversee the missile launch procedures are trained to initiate a launch, even if it is a Girl Scout that presents the launch order with the correct codes. Fire.
We're literally trained that, if a Girl Scout, this is serious, we were always trained, if a Girl Scout gives you a message, a launch message, she knocks on your door, goes, here you go, she gives you a launch message on a box of cookies, she wrote it down. If it passes all the checks, go. If she just passes it on to you, that's all we're trying to say. No matter how you get it, take action. Because that's how you have to do it in a war, because you don't know. They can take down most of the communication. Right. So it's an extreme example, but we actually would train that. Like, no matter what, you go.
While the example may sound humorous,
Jesus.
Imagine if this branch chief was actually talking to a Chinese spy. He has now just revealed where our nukes are.
I mean, they know. They know. Like, I bet, honestly, here's the truth. I bet we have our own hose over in China doing the same thing to the Chinese guys.
Yeah.
I do. I bet.
They've been in the same locations for generations, bro. That like everybody knows where. Well, I'm sure the foreign countries know where the nukes are. I mean,
I think there's probably at least a 10 to 20% chance that we know each other's launch codes.
Yeah.
Like with how much I think this is probably happening. Yeah. Same with Russia.
And the exact method we would use to defend ourselves against Chinese nukes.
It's
and
bad.
even revealed that if China wanted to trigger a false launch from the US, all they need is the launch code and a Girl Scout. On a second interaction, Andrew Hogg went into details about the war with Iran, confirming that there are no plans to nuke Iran. But in the wake of the February assassination of the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Hogg tells our journalists that President Trump is going to kill his son, Mojtaba Khamenei, if he, quote, doesn't change his ways.
What an idiot. Trump should have already done that.
Yeah, I don't know what the... Today's the last day for it, boys. Today's the last day. The last day of this stupid ceasefire. Shit was stupid from day one. It was a waste of time.
Which killed over 150 school children.
He might kill the next guy, the son.
His son?
Yeah, because the son took over. He won't be any different.
You think they would kill his son?
Yeah. If he doesn't change the ways, then everything kills.
The journalist goes on to ask Andrew Hogg about the March 2026 strike in Iran, which killed over 150 school children. It has been deemed a violation of international humanitarian law.
This is the moment a missile slammed into an Iranian base in Minab. Weapons experts tell CNN the wings and tail are consistent with a Tomahawk missile. This new video is the clearest evidence yet that suggests it was the United States that struck an elementary school next to that Revolutionary Guards base, killing scores.
Why was there a guard base there?
Of students.
To which Andrew coldly replies, quote, "There's been collateral damage. They, meaning kids, always die in war."
Yeah, he's not wrong. That's just how it is. Can't quit the entire war because of that either. Think about how many kids that have been killed since the beginning of war in World War I and World War II. I mean, they used to strap bombs to kids in Vietnam. They do it in Iran, not Iran. Well, no, I mean, they might. I mean, they're a terrorist organization. They're willing to do whatever it takes to win. Like, it doesn't matter to them. They're just using it as emotional leverage. That's all they're trying to do.
I'm sure there's been some collateral damage. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, they always die in war. If you fight. I mean,
but again, it was still in the same area as a fucking an IRGC compound. So like, I don't know what you expect.
So, but
we actually did kill kids out there.
That's not intentionally, yeah. Well,
of course they kill kids. Duh. Yeah. What do you think happens? You drop a bomb.
Duh. Yeah, Iraq. I meant to say Iraq. You're right.
Well, we killed civilians in Iraq too, but yeah.
Look at every single possibility. What size weapon we're trying to do here? So let's use this weapon versus that weapon. It might be safer. The school over here. We identify what's here, what's here. It's an apartment building.
But perhaps the most disturbing of all, Andrew Hug details how the U.S. is researching and developing nerve agents or chemical weapons in a laboratory in Aberdeen, Maryland.
So, nerve agents.
Bro, why the fuck? We got to get this guy out of here.
He's just
saying it. Oh my god. I don't think that this is real. I just don't think there's no way this is real.
We have to do something about horny guys. We do. We have to do. Like, maybe what we have to do is we have to have like a. I stop.
With this chemical, with a nerve agent, it kills that enzyme, and lungs won't work, your heart won't work, nothing will work. We have this here, in the state out.
The nerve agent that Andrew.
So there's a nerve agent. So like, I was an EMT and I've actually I've seen it, right? I've actually know what enzyme he's talking about. So like, if you've ever seen anybody disemboweled, which is where your intestines are on the outside of your body, there's this slimy, sticky substance around all of your organs, and it keeps the organs from sticking together. And I guess the irritant is designed in a way that eats away that lining in between your organs, and I guess it causes you to die.
It kills that enzyme, and lungs won't work, your heart won't work, nothing will work. We have this here, in the state out.
The nerve agent that Andrew is describing here is sarin. It's a highly toxic human-made organophosphorus. Sarin acts as a potent inhibitor of enzymes, and over time, the binding becomes irreversible. In 1987, the U.S. joined the Chemical Weapons Convention, which bans the development, stockpile.
Yeah, right. Oh no! Oh, we would never do that.
And use of chemical weapons. The U.S. had about 30,000 tons.
I don't care. I think that if America wants to keep making biological weapons like that, go for it. I don't care. Hey man, when it comes to the annihilation of a civilization, I would rather it be someone else's civilization. No offense. That's all there is to it.
Tons of chemical weapons, including nerve agents. In July 2023, the U.S. completed destruction of the last declared chemical weapons at the Bluegrass Army.
That makes sense. Now they only have the undeclared ones left. It's a good idea.
Depot in Kentucky. As long as the nerve agents are not weaponized, the U.S. is allowed to conduct research and development for scientific purposes, such as
so it's legal. So it doesn't matter, it's still legal. It's not for weapon use.
Treatment. However, this becomes more concerning when Andrew Hug reveals that one of the chemists in that lab was so careless, refusing to wear appropriate safety gear.
They got naturally selected? That's okay. If you want to be that fucking stupid and you get naturally selected, that's on you. You know what that chemical can do.
She accidentally exposed herself to the nerve agent.
She was just being lazy, and she like wore Crocs, and she, you know, got lazy.
Natural selection.
What? Who's she? Or what?
She's a lab tech. She's a lab tech. She's supposed to wear all this gear, and she's like, I don't like it. She just wore like Crocs and her own clothes.
It don't matter if you don't like it, dumbass. It's for your safety. What the hell?
Yeah.
And so it's soaked in her clothes. And it's soaked very well on her skin. So she could literally start touching stuff. Other people would touch like a door, and then people would die.
The journalist also.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Question Andrew Hug on Ukraine and whether the diplomats were really using U.S. aid to buy themselves mansions and sports cars. And the nuclear branch chief confirms, quote, they stole our money. They bought houses, $100,000 cars. They can get themselves rich and go live in Dubai.
Like I said, I lived in Ukraine and worked there with the government.
Really?
That government is so corrupt. Like, they stole our money. Like, I worked on Obama's tax money that he sent. They just stole
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Houses, cars, like $100,000 cars. They're officials in the government, so they get their hands on the tax money from you and me.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, oh yeah, they just. And then now that it's like 100 billion, 200 billion, they're like stealing it all. So.
Okay, so.
Yeah,
But we should keep sending money to Africa, right?
Just stealing all the money.
Why would they use that money for that? Wouldn't they need it for like nuclear weapons?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's but if they can get themselves rich and leave and go live in Dubai, that's better than they don't care about the people. Oh, they couldn't care less about the people.
Big surprise. Whoa, who would have thought?
Hug even details that he personally witnessed 10 Ukrainian officials steal $1 million each and immediately spend it on luxury cars.
You can tell about Ukraine and how corrupt. And like when I was there, they stole $1 million one day. That was the first.
Well, okay, that's different. Like the way he's saying it now. He's saying they stole $1 million in one day. Because I'm thinking each guy gets $1 million. It's like, okay, well, that's probably not that many guys. Like, where'd the rest of the money go? But like, I mean, so it's $1 million a day. Okay, that's a lot more.
The thing I saw stolen was $1 million, and they bought these guys that make $350 a month in their political job.
Yeah.
Each guy, 10 guys stole $1 million. They each bought a $100,000 car, like BMW 7.
This is the reason why we should just stop sending money out of America to foreign countries. Like, it's completely obvious what's going on when it comes to that. That the people that are in power are just taking the money and spending it on whatever the fuck they want. But we got to stop this, man. This is just too much.
All $100,000 cars from
this is too much.
The money Obama gave. Yeah.
The branch chief claims he reported it to the Obama White House, to which they replied, quote, we don't care.
Did anything ever happen with that?
I don't give a fuck.
I reported it, and guess what the White House said? We don't care. Don't talk about it. We don't want that in the paper because it makes Obama look bad. It looks like he's not in control.
Wow. Wow.
That's crazy.
Is it sad that I 100% believe him?
That is, wow.
Yeah. He's severely incriminating if she, in fact, were a spy.
Hey! You met me. That's so sweet.
You're not spying. You're not spying, though, right? But you're not spying, right?
State of open warfare with Iran, national security and discretion is more important than ever. Andrew Hug is lucky that he was talking to an OMG undercover journalist and not an Iranian spy, as he casually.
Dude, how many other, like, do you really think this is the first time this has happened?
No, he did this so casually. He did this so casually. There's no fucking way he hasn't done this before.
Guy?
He's probably done this dozens of times.
Like, I don't. I think it's happened before.
Discuss Trump's strategy and intentions. When a top nuclear official is this loose-lipped about our defensive measures, Iranian war plans, locations of nukes, while our country is actively at war, it puts every single one of us in mortal.
Committed treason on camera.
This is something else. Yeah, And so the code is 3. Here, write this down. Okay, F, and then there's a dash. No, not on. Know this one. Yeah. Oh my. We have American hookers that have Chinese.
You know what sucks is that nothing is going to happen to him. And he's going to do it again. Bro is absolutely going to do it again. All right, boys, it's wartime.
Now returning to Operation Epic Fury, a third
it's bomb time.
Been attacked in the Strait of Hormuz after the UK said the Islamic Republic attacked a container ship.
Wait, what
happened? Now returning to Operation Epic Fury, a third vessel has reportedly been attacked in the Strait of Hormuz after the UK said the Islamic Republic attacked a container ship earlier today and is suspected of firing on another one. This after U.S. Central Command provided an update to the total number of vessels stopped by the U.S. blockade, rating on X, quote.
Ooh, they getting desperate now. Someone had linked something yesterday in the chat, in the Discord, showing that one of the Iranian vessels refused to, like, they weren't giving comms or anything, and then they were just going to try and, like, just go through the blockade. And then the American ship fired upon it and disabled its engine. And they had found, I don't really think the article said what was in it. It was like a picture, more or less. It wasn't really a link. But I didn't see anything that they had found in it. But they're desperate. These fuckers are desperate now. Like their entire economy is on the verge of collapse from the shutting of the the Strait of Hormuz. It's completely collapsing.
Against ships entering or exiting Iranian ports, U.S. forces have directed 28 vessels to turn around and return to port. Power the Future founder and executive director Daniel Turner joins me now.
Yep, it was Rachel. It was Rachel that did it, by the way.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to see you. Oil and gas, obviously, a major
chemicals. Oh, that's right. It was chemicals, wasn't it? It was chemicals. Wasn't it chemicals for the? Let me pull up the Discord. Wasn't it chemicals for the actual, what's it called? Let me see if I can find it. I actually can't find it now. Oh, here it is. Flagship name, that's a carrier. It doesn't say. Single blockade. Crew refused to listen. It just says that they took out
Iran
the
now
engines.
Appears to be attacking ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Their whole strategy is that they believe that they can outlast the United States economically. Is that true?
They're trying to do death by 1,000 paper cuts, right? And they know that just one little fishing vessel can wreak tremendous havoc on these tankers. And if you're the captain of a $450 million payload and you have lives on the line, you're a little bit risk averse. And that risk aversion is why we see these huge volatility movements in oil and gas prices. So until there's comfort that you can get through this region without any military risk, you're going to continue to see these spikes in oil, and it's not great.
No doubt, and that may be why Energy Secretary Chris Wright said over the weekend that gas prices may not drop below $3 a gallon here at home until next year. But then President Trump said that is not true. They will drop as soon as this conflict is over. Who's right about where gas prices will sit in the future?
It's probably going to sit up for a little while, but it depends on how this conflict ends. That's what matters. How this conflict ends is what will determine the gas prices.
If I look at the president's initial inauguration in January of last year, by the time he took office to when oil hit $65 a barrel was a matter of weeks, because markets had a sense of calm. So I think that I think the president is right on this, because we don't have an oil and gas shortage. We don't have a supply problem. There is concern about movement in the straits, but as soon as that concern is gone, the supply and the laws of economics will kick back in.
Yeah, and these oil and gas companies, they're being proactive about it. There was a Wall Street Journal article. It was titled "Big Oil Plows billions into far-flung drilling sites to escape Iranian turmoil. These companies are looking to bypass the strait entirely. Is that productive? Is it short-sighted in terms of how they spend their money? What do you think?
It's a great use of their money right now.
They're
because
surplus
they are,
right now.
Absolutely, they do have a surplus, and we are several years behind the 8 ball. Remember, we had 4 years of a Biden pause where you weren't allowed to drill in the outer continental shelf. You weren't allowed to drill in Alaska, the Gulf of America, etc. So the president's got a brilliant strategy to increase.
Why? Why would you take that away? Wait, what? Why would you, like, bro, there's so much oil underneath the Gulf of America. Like, what the fuck?
Gas production, but we are behind the 8 ball because of the Biden years.
Also, it is Earth Day today.
Bro, it was like they were trying to gear the rest of the world up to fall under Iran's rule. Like, you realize they stopped drilling in the Gulf. They stopped drilling in other places. Like, the rigs are already up. They just stopped drilling. What the fuck? So they just straight up stopped making new rigs and stopped, like... Dude, it was like they were trying to gear up for the world economic collapse just because of this one regime.
He wrote a Fox News op-ed. You can find it on foxnews.com, titled "On Earth Day, 3 Signs the Climate Movement is Out of Gas."
Yeah, the climate
Quickly
movement,
tell us here.
You know, that's not where all the cool kids are right now. They're in the No Kings movement. They're in the Hate Israel movement. They're in something else. The momentum of the climate movement, because I think the American people have woken up to how detrimental the climate policies have been. They've made our lives really expensive. They've hurt us economically. They've hurt us militarily. So the climate movement is losing its steam.
And on this Earth Day, we're learning that in Pennsylvania, they're keeping 2 coal-fired power plants open that were slated to close in 2028 because of this energy independence that, of course, the president champions. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Be sure to like.
At the end of the day, no one can afford a $30,000 Tesla. That's just how it is. It sucks, but that's how it is. I mean, no one can afford that shit.
UK maritime officials say the first ship came under fire just northeast of Oman. The second ship was hit about 8 miles west of Iran. Iran says it has now seized both of those vessels, and there's reportedly a third ship that's now stranded off the Iranian coast.
Now, this just hours after President Trump granted an indefinite extension to the U.S.-Iran ceasefire. The president said...
What? 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 Come again? Wait, what? What? Indefinite ceasefire? What? Hello?
As this was done at the
Bro, they
request
over there taking the fucking ships and, like, what?
of Pakistan in order to give Tehran's fractured leadership more time to, quote, come up with a unified proposal.
And Matt Finn is reporting live from Islamabad, Pakistan.
Whoa. So you mean to tell me that this orange son of a bitch is really trying to give these people more time to come together while they continue to shut down the Strait of Hormuz and fire upon civilian vessels? Hello? What?
Hey, Bill, the UK Maritime Trade Operations reports 2 ships were attacked today, and there's reportedly a third. And this all comes after that extended ceasefire last night. The UK reports that first attack happened on a container ship around 4 a.m. local time, 15 nautical miles northeast of Oman. The UK says an IRGC gunboat caused heavy damage to the ship's bridge. About
that motherfucker put it at the bottom of the ocean. The whole reason why the ceasefire was even there was to fucking get the Strait of Hormuz open. If they don't want to open that bitch, then sink all the goddamn ships. What are we doing? What the hell is Trump doing?
Cargo ship was fired at off the coast of Iran. The ship has stopped in the water. No reported damage to that vessel. Now, Iranian state media claims Iran attacked a third ship and has seized 2 of these vessels. Fox's Lauren Simonetti reports these types of attacks are paralyzing movement on the Strait of Hormuz, with just 1 ship passing yesterday and today. Now, these repeated attacks come in the midst of an extended ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran. President Trump yesterday announced the U.S. will lengthen the 2-week ceasefire that expired earlier today and will wait for the powers that be in Iran to put together a peace proposal.
So hold on, wait a minute. So you want to just do what? You just want to sit here while they're taking out civilian ships, man? My God, dude, what a joke this guy is.
Iran is collapsing financially. They want the Strait of Hormuz opened immediately, starving for cash, losing $500 million a day.
I think that's kind of valid, though, because, like, if you're losing that much money a day, probably not going to have much of a regime left.
Military and police complaining that they are not getting paid. SOS. Now, here in Pakistan, Islamabad was heavily prepared for peace talks that were expected to be happening today. Now, security seems to be loosening a bit. Some public transit has reopened, and it appears some roadblocks are coming down. But Pakistan's government and President Trump have seemingly left open the possibility of peace talks still happening here at some point. One thing is clear, Pakistan is certainly hoping that President Trump makes his way here sometime soon. We will keep you updated from on the ground here in Islamabad. Bill, Dana.
All right, Matt Finn live on the ground in Pakistan. Matt, thanks.
And former CENTCOM spokesman Joe Bacino joins us now. Joe, listen to President Trump yesterday. He was on CNBC and he was talking about the complications that he's facing after the leaders of Iran got taken out.
We've taken out their leaders, frankly, which does complicate things in one way, but these leaders are much more rational. It is regime change, no matter what you want to call it, which is not something I said I was going to do, but I've done it. Indirectly, maybe, but I've done it.
And then Iran's foreign minister, the new guy, he said that blockading Iranian ports is an act of war and thus a violation of the ceasefire. Striking a commercial vessel and taking its crew hostage is an even greater violation. Iran knows how to neutralize restrictions, how to defend its interests, and how to resist bullying. Do you think they were trying to show that with what they did overnight in the Strait?
Well, then if that's the case, then why don't you attack the actual naval vessels that are there? Why are you being a coward and attacking the individual civilian vessels?
I do, Dana. I think that it demonstrates they're not ready.
Terrorists being terrorists, boys.
Iran is not ready to negotiate, and they may not even be in a position to negotiate. They may not have the consolidation of power across the parliament, the
I can't believe Trump pussied out on us, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
IRGC and the mullahs to get into some kind of negotiation.
I guess I don't know what I expected, honestly.
President Trump
I
is
don't.
100% accurate in saying that these new leaders are more rational. I think Mustafa Khomeini, Vahidi, the new IRGC commander, these are hardliners. They may not be as rational as we're thinking they are.
There's been so much focus on maintaining this American blockade to try to choke out the Iranian economy. At the same time, there have been a few isolated...
Bro, it should be no damn IRGC left. He literally just extended the ceasefire indefinitely. Like, what are we doing, man?
reports that here and there
they're firing on civilian vessels. Like, what the hell?
Ships that have successfully gotten through that blockade. Can you talk about just what kind of capabilities the American military has in that area to try to scan and find these ships that are trying to make a run on that blockade?
Sure. Well, we got, more than 15 ships there.
It doesn't matter how many ships they have. The thing is that they're not allowed to attack them. So even if they find them, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter.
More than 10,000 soldiers, and you've got sonar radar that's under the water. We've also got radar on the surface of the water, and we've got radar in the skies, and we've got satellites in low Earth orbit. So we're scanning across every domain. We're watching across every domain, and we've got really.
Hey, how many more civilian ships need to be blown up before you actually do something about it, huh?
Edge high-tech capabilities that are imposing this blockade and securing the blockade and giving us eyes across everything in the Arabian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz.
Admiral McCraven was on.
Yeah, you know why? You know why Americans are firing on civilian vessels is because they're not listening. Whenever you have a bunch of vessels that are allowed to go through, and then you start firing on them, that is not the same as a bunch of Iranian vessels that are just kind of go through against what the blockade is saying. You do that kind of stuff in Poland and they kill you. Yeah, that's what happens to you. You got naturally selected. And by the way, you should know that they didn't blow the ships up. They were just disabled. So.
And friends, and in the last hour, he had an idea of what could be done with the blockade. Watch here.
Where we are now, we're at an impasse at the end of the day. The Iranians don't want to come to the negotiating table until we lift the blockade. But the blockade for us is a pressure point on Iran. Continuing to bomb them probably isn't going to work. Lift the blockade for a period of the ceasefire, and the blockade is a switch. You lift the blockade, and if they don't comply, you just put the blockade back in place. I mean, this is not something that takes a lot of machinations to happen.
What do you think of that? Is it realistic?
It's realistic. The problem is if we lift the blockade while Iran is keeping the Strait of Hormuz closed, they've got leverage, or certainly they feel like they've got leverage. I think with the blockade, we've got multiple pressure points. We're compounding multiple pieces of pressure here on top of Iran. Obviously, the pressure with the bombing campaign, with phase 1 of the war, we've knocked out 50 years, more than 50 years of military equipment.
We have knocked out a lot of their stuff. I mean,
Iran. Then we've got the economic pressure with the blockade. Then we've got the diplomatic pressure with the ceasefire delay that's eventually going to end. And eventually we're going to start, presumably, phase 2 of the war if we don't get to a negotiation with regard to uranium enrichment. I think the problem is...
Yeah, but the thing is that it's an indefinite ceasefire. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You know it's bullshit.
Eventually going to end, and eventually we're going to start, presumably, phase 2 of the war if we don't get to a negotiation with regard to uranium enrichment. I think the problem is lifting the blockade on our end while Iran keeps the Strait of Hormuz closed on their end, gives them leverage and allows them to put pressure on President Trump.
If the negotiations were to fall apart here, obviously hostilities would be expected to restart again. Both sides have essentially been rearming.
Bro, like they are still hostile. What are you talking about? Was this even a question? They're still trying to kill Americans. What the fuck?
And re-preparing. The Iranians said yesterday something along the lines of they have some new cards to introduce to the battlefield. Does that concern you at all, or do you think that's just Iran being Iran with their bluster?
I think, Iran, they've got a very...
Really? That's crazy. So since you've made that statement, then surely you know more than we do. So what kind of information and knowledge do you have that the rest of us need to be educated on, since you're so much smarter that you can even make that statement? Don't roach out either. No? Nothing? Are you gonna puss out? You a pussy, man? You a little wuss boy? No, that's it? Nothing? Nothing at all? I don't make statements on things I clearly don't understand. But you obviously are saying, based on this right here, that you have enough education to tell me that I'm uneducated about this. So clearly you know more then, correct? So you obviously know more about it. Otherwise you wouldn't have said this. Bro, you don't even know me and you up in my comments telling me that I'm uneducated about the topic at hand. How do you know that? How do you know I didn't go to college to become a geopolitical advisor? How do you know that? You don't, because you've only said 3 things in the chat, and the 3 things that you've said show how in-fucking coherent you are. But you're still gonna but you don't even know, and you still made a statement. So you just used hypocrisy. You just said you don't make statements on things you clearly don't understand, yet you're in my comments telling me that I'm uneducated. It goes to show how fucking stupid you are, doesn't it? You just made a comment on something you don't even know. So you lied. You just lied. Like, hello? What are we gonna do with this ass clown? Because that's his new name, ass clown. What are we gonna do with this dumbass? What are we doing with this ass clown, bro? What are we doing with him? Damn, it don't look good for you, boss. Oh, by the way, hit like on the stream, sub to the channel. I'm here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. I haven't said that at all today. Don't worry, you next, the heart. You next. Don't worry about it. I got you. $59. It's done, dude. You're cooked. You're out of here, bro. You're out of here. You're banned. Where'd he go? See you, loser. So what do you have? You watch Iranian citizens yet sit and watch a Trump retard. So is that all you got? What's your counter argument to what's going on the Strait of Hormuz and the Iran war? Because that's what this is about. What's your counter argument? The hell are you talking about, fool? Are you a retard? What's wrong with you? Do you have a counter argument? Yes, like, do you have anything besides this mental retardation? Do you have anything? I'll give you a fucking minute, dude. I'm not gonna sit here. 8, 9, so 10. At 11:10. What do you... There's the caps I was looking for. Like, what are you talking about, man? You smoking something? There's no argument. You're the one making an argument. I'm defending a nation attacked by America. Fuck Iran. You have it, hold on. Okay, here we go, boys. It's been a while since I gave this spiel. It's been a while. So, America bombed a civilization of people, the IRGC, because they've been screaming death to America for 47 years. They also captured 4 American soldiers and have been killing American soldiers through proxy using terrorist regimes all over the Middle East for 47 years, probably more like 50. They've also captured and tortured American soldiers for 444 days, and then made the released soldiers kiss their stupid little terrorists that are now dead on the forehead to show a sign of disrespect. And not to mention, they're also using child soldiers as a way to spin a stupid little narrative to make America look bad. Then to boot, you have all these little crybaby bitches that can't hold their own government, so they systematically genocide 45,000 Iranian people so that way they can maintain their power and keep their little slaves where they are. But we're the bad guys? I think we should send them more bombs. Clearly the IRGC didn't learn a lesson. Should I keep going? What about all the carpet bombs that they've been sending over to Israel and the other countries around them whenever America attacked them? What about all their allies that are now advocating for America to continue bombing them? What about that? I didn't see any of them step up to the plate to try and stop America. You know why? Because the terroristic regime that is running the Iranian people, that is occupying their country, is systematically genociding them. That's why. And if you got a problem with it, continue to mold behind your computer and call people names, and then you're just going to keep getting pulled up by people like me that are going to make fun of you because you're fucking dumb. You're actually stupid. You have a system, you have a civilization of people that scream death to America for 47 years, and and America brings death to their doorsteps. Well, congratulations. You just got naturally selected. You want the fucking Darwin Awards next? That's what you fucking get. Hello? Like seriously? That's what happens when you proxy fund terrorist organizations all over the Middle East. You get got. You have anything else? Do you have anything else? Is that it? In Iraq, Livy, Bernard, you're acting like a moron. I don't give a fuck about your brother. He'd probably look at your bitch ass and be like, dude, I can't believe my brother is like that. What a little pussy. You should want revenge for your brother, dumbass. If he died in Iraq, you should know that the Iraq-Afghanistan wars were completely fucking useless. We replaced the Taliban with the fucking Taliban. But you know what we're doing this time? We're killing all the fucking Taliban. That's what we're doing. We're killing all their leadership. And then we got little worms like you that claim to be American in my chat saying that, oh, well, my brother died in dude, you didn't lose no brother. You a lying piece of shit. You a lying piece of shit, and everyone can see it. There are a lot of veterans in this chat. The fuck? Why is my light going out? There are a lot of veterans in this chat that agree with what I'm saying. You don't even know why they're screaming kill America? It's because they want death to the Western culture in America. That's why. They were going to make nukes and do the same thing that they did to their own civilization to keep them in power to the rest of the world, to try and dominate the rest of the world. If you can't allow your own people to have a difference of opinion without killing them, what do you think they're going to do to the rest of the world? They're going to systematically kill people with nukes to maintain a worldwide power. They're going to use terrorism the same way they do now. They're going to march. They're going to do the same thing to everyone else, where they're marching people over to infrastructure with guns held to their fucking temples. So that way, if America bombs the fuck out of the infrastructure, a lot of innocent people die. It's called using meat shields. You heard of it? It's really common with terrorists. Can you believe this guy? Can you believe this guy? Seriously, can y'all believe this dude? Bro don't even know doesn't even know how terrorists work. And he's up in my comments saying, well, I can debate him. I can debate him, acting like he's big shot because his brother died in the Iraq war. Do you know anything? There are a lot of veterans that want to see the IRGC burn. Do you know anything? Or do you just claim you know things? So that way you can get a little bit of attention. Is that it? Won't debate me. Dude, I'm not debating anybody. It's a reaction channel. You can't even type out what your counter argument is. Why the fuck would I why, so you can sit there and say the N-word and get me banned? Fuck no. Then why you think this shit keeps popping up? It's because you keep saying shit that YouTube's censoring. That's YouTube. That's not me. Nice try, though. Like, what the fuck? You know, just to go in somebody's comments, call them names, say they don't know what they're talking about, and just get pulled up on a fucking video call. That's not how it works, jackass. The fuck? Why the fuck would I do that? Man, you must think I'm some kind of dumb, like you. But that's okay. I'm going to use our beautiful American culture and see if you get to stay or not. Actually, you know what? I'll even use your name. I'll even use your name. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. We're gonna use his name. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. Ain't that a beautiful thing? Van. Oops. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna let America's beautiful culture decide whether you get to stay here or leave. Yeah, he may be trolling me, but I'm going to be the one making money off of it. That's the best part. I'm going to be the one making money off of it. I just got to make fun of a jackass online who thought he knew more. He couldn't even type out like his counter argument and thought that I was going to do that. Like, what are you trying to prove by saying that, dude? You're just an idiot. Don't look good for you. Looks like the chat doesn't like you. So by doing this, I'm proving that just because he sat here and did this, it proved nothing. I've still got the same amount of viewers. I've still got the same amount of people that see the same things that I see, that have clear heads and aren't idiots. I not only disproved everything he said, but now that he's being voted out, it proves that he didn't bring anybody from my side to his side. It's not because you think it's dumb. It's because you're too goddamn stupid to understand what I'm doing. That's the problem. You don't understand what I'm doing by putting it up to a vote. You can't comprehend it because you've got the attention span of a dish plate. That's the problem. You don't understand it. It looks like you cook, brother. Looks like you gonzo now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Have a good time. Bye-bye.
Very significant ground force, but this is not a ground war.
I love pulling up people that think they know everything and know nothing about nothing. By the way, if you're new here, sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. Every little bit helps. WW constant viewers. Check out that channel membership as well. We got that channel membership that got good with those exclusive emotes.
Have been devastated. Their air defenses have been taken out almost entirely, and their naval fleet has been taken out almost entirely.
I know, right? No offense to dish plates.
So what they can do in defense of an air war or what they can do in the Arabian Gulf is very, very limited. What other cards Iran has is unimaginable. It'd be hard for me to identify what that would be.
Damn, man, look at all those ships there. Look at all those warships. Damn, look at all that.
Given that we don't have a ground war here, we don't have American troops inside of Iran or in Kharg Island.
Joe Bucchino, please come back to America's Newsroom. It's great to have you on the program.
You know why I do that? Because it's annoying to have constant nayers in your comments that sit there and call you names and add nothing to the conversation. It's a form of oppression. When all they do is sit there and say stupid shit and attack my commenters. I certainly hope you're not doing the same thing. Boy, 313 attacks people for no reason. I'm 31 years old. I went to college and I became a firefighter. I was also a United States Postal Service carrier. I worked at a school district as a school bus driver. I have a CDL license. I've also had a concealed carry license. I have 4 guns. I'm not a boy. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm sorry that you have to attack how I look, and you can't attack any of the arguments. Do you have anything to add to any of the arguments that I've had so far? Do you have any counter arguments, perhaps? Or are you just going to sit there and continue to call me names? And I love that people like you seem to think that that's how it is, but whenever I pull someone like you up, that immediately calls me names, proves my point without even me having to say anything. It was immediately like, yeah, it's because they're calling me names, they're calling my chat people names, they're sitting there being constant nayers, it's fucking annoying. Do you have anything to add to the argument, besides trying to attack my character and trying to disenfranchise me? Do you have anything? Okay, so you're just a fucking idiot. Okay. Well, here, what I'll do is I'll just report you. Where the fuck is that idiot at? Let me see. Where's it at? And then permaban you and let YouTube deal with you. How about that? Bye-bye now. Have a good time. Bye-bye. You ain't even worth the time. See you, loser.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox.
And they sure did let the lobotomites out of the asylum today, didn't they, boys? Waste my time, bro. Waste my time. There we go.
Military planners from more than 30 countries are set to meet in London today and tomorrow. Their goal is to draw up detailed plans for reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Jeff Paul is in London with more on the France and UK-led initiative. So, what do we think? How's it going to go?
Yeah, Dana, well, officials here in the UK say the planning sessions will build on progress made last week. That is when UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and French President Emmanuel Macron met among several other countries in Paris. Now, at the time, more than a dozen world leaders pledged they were willing to join an international coalition to safeguard shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. More than 30 nations. Nations and their military strategists are expected to attend the conference in London today. Over the next 2 days, they'll work to hash out detailed military plans for the strait once the fighting stops. The UK's Ministry of Defense says the aim is to ensure freedom of navigation in the strait and support a lasting ceasefire. And the clock is ticking, especially when it comes to the economy in Europe. The European Union Energy Commissioner says even in the best case scenario, the region will likely experience shortages in jet fuel and diesel, impacting both travel and trade.
If this goes on for many months or even years, we're looking at a totally new world order and probably very, very severe economic consequences that goes far beyond only the energy sector, of course.
Now, those attending the summit today are expected to examine their collective military capabilities, command and control arrangements, and how forces could operate in the region when needed. The UK's defense minister says he's confident over the next 2 days that real progress can be made.
I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen at all. We're just wasting our time with this bullshit. Bomb the shit out of them, bro. Seriously, why are we wasting our time with this?
Firing on at least 3 ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian state media claiming 2 of them are now in control of the IRGC. These are civilian vessels, by the way. All this complicating the ceasefire that was supposed to end today, as new reports claim President Trump is now giving him 3 to 5 days to get behind a counteroffer because they are not on the same page even to deal with us. Here with what all this means for the U.S. naval forces.
That's not what you said earlier. You said it was an indefinite ceasefire. So they gave him another 5 days after they done took 3 civilian vessels? The hell are you doing?
4-star Admiral William McRaven. Great to see you, Admiral.
Good to be with you, Brian.
Your thoughts about where we're at now? You just told me in the green room for decades you guys have had a plan to go at Iran for different administrations and generations. Where are we at?
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact of the matter is since 1979, I think every president has wanted to kind of change the regime in Iran. So we've had plans for a long time about that. So where we are now, we're at an impasse at the end of the day. The Iranians don't want to come to the negotiating table until we lift the blockade. But the blockade for us is a pressure point.
That is true. If we start drilling in the Gulf again, the Gulf of America, and we start filling up all them ships from other countries, bro, like we would take all the power away from Iran. We would. And we'd make so much money. Think about how much money that would be, boys. Think about how much money that would pump into the economy. Woo! Salivating just thinking about it.
On Iran. So at some point in time, someone's going to have to blink. If I were advising the president, I'd say, if you really want to get the Iranians to the negotiating table, continuing to bomb them probably isn't going to work. Lift the blockade for a period of the ceasefire. And the blockade is a switch. You can turn it on, you can turn it off. So if you lift the blockade and allow them to come to the negotiating table, try to get some movement on this.
They got to get out of the strait, though.
They got to get out of the strait, yeah. But you lift the blockade, and if they don't comply, you just put the blockade back in place. I mean, this is not something that takes a lot of machinations to happen.
So the president said, hey, I'm taking out their power plants. I'm going to go for the bridges if they don't come to the table. Why is that not a good idea?
It's not a good idea because, again, the Iranians have got thousands of drones and still probably 1,000 short-range ballistic missiles.
Think about that, bro. They're making like 400 million a day? That's $1 billion every 2 days? Dude, like that is exponential. Holy shit.
Attack their Arab neighbors. They will go after the desalinization plants. They will go after the Arab power plants. 90% of Kuwait's water comes from a desalinization plant. So if we begin to take out the Iranian power plants, then they will respond against the Arabs, and that will create more economic problems, global economic problems, in addition to problems in the neighborhood.
Do you who would you deal with? Who do you want to deal with? The IRGC, or would you rather deal with the foreign minister? And
the fact of the matter is the IRGC is probably running the country, but you have to deal with the foreign minister. The foreign minister right now represents Iran, whether we like it or not. I agree with the president. I do think there is a fractured group. The hard part is, how do you get a consolidated answer from Iran?
If you're new here, sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. It helps out the views, man. Please hit like on the stream. Please.
Hard to do.
Congratulations. You're one of the most respected people in the country, and some of your commencement speeches, one in particular in 2014, still resonates at the University
We're here every day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
Texas,
Central Time.
But you have a brand new book out called Duty, Honor, Country, and Life, a tribute to the American spirit. Admiral, why did you write this?
Well, and doctors and Irishmen and football players
I don't care about your book.
and leaving. Later on, you have John Stuart Mill in the 1800s who writes this book.
I don't care. I can give a rat's ass about your book, brother.
Joining us now with more insight into what's happening behind the scenes inside both the U.S. military, what's left of the Iranian military, former special envoy to Ukraine and Russia, Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg is with us. So I got confirmation that the Pakistanis tried to explain in detail, almost begging the president, please give our peace opportunity a little more time. They don't have the ability to communicate with each other. For example, you might have
go schizo out in someone else's chat, man.
Head of the IRGC in one place. You might have the people that are negotiating in another place. It's not like they can pick up a cell phone, General. And the president rightly pointing out, it's costing them $500 million a day. At some point, it is their entire economy. They can't survive much longer, regardless of who may think that they're in charge. So, again, it's the hard way or the easy way, is it not?
Yeah, Sean, thanks for having me tonight. Look, I would just say let's not negotiate anymore. Let's just walk away. Let's finish the job. And when you...
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been saying, bro. Just finish the fucking job. If they don't want to come to the table, they don't want to negotiate, then blow them the fuck up.
When you think about their fractured command and control, Vahedi's in charge of the IRGC. Under the Mosaic Doctrine, they've broken that down to 31 IRGC headquarters, and they've thought about fighting the United States. So my point to them being fractured in their leadership, which it is because of President Trump and what he has done, is I'd say let's create more problems for them and try to figure this out. That's why I keep going back to take something like Karg Island or seize the islands in the Strait of Hormuz with the Tripoli and Boxer args that you've got there. You've got elements of the 82nd Theater. They can take Karg Island. And all of a sudden now you're creating and compounding the problem for them to try to solve. And I don't think...
I do think that shutting off the Strait of Hormuz to cripple Iran's economy is a pretty damn good idea. It kind of gives them a taste of their own medicine. And it kind of explains why they're so desperate and they're lashing out the way they are. It's because they don't have anything else, so that's all they can do.
They can solve it because they don't have the leadership left that can figure this out. And you now control it. You could put a provisional government, if you want to, on Karg Island and try to figure it out as well. But this is the whole way of trying to give them problems that they can solve. And
they've gotten their asses handed to them militarily by two countries, so they have no fight left. So now they're just trying to grasp and maintain whatever they can.
When you say we're going to negotiate, that's right out of their playbook. You know, when you have somebody like Kawachi,
that's as high as it goes, unfortunately.
On negotiations, this was part of his negotiation strategy. He called it the market strategy. It's like being in a bazaar.
Yo, W10. Oh yeah, week's been phenomenal. W10 dono. W10, bro. W10. I can't. Oh, there it goes. I got it. Oh.
Trying to buy a rug, bartering back and forth. I'm said, done. We're done. The president gave
We're having a great week. Every day I get to wake up and talk shit to people. It's a great day to be alive.
It was very gracious in an attempt to talk the way through it. Now let's just finish it out. And I think we can finish it out. We can strangle them economically. We're doing that with the blockade. Let's compound the problem. Not only do we have terrain, we've got the blockade as well. And instead of bombing like their power plants, bomb something that really hurts them, that their fuel industry or something like that, instead of going after things that hurt the people. So I think we still have cards to play. The president sure does. I wouldn't bet against the president of the United States at all.
We pull oil out of the Gulf of America. Why the hell don't we have our own refineries? I know someone in chat just said we had a few, but like, why don't we have enough to make our own goddamn oil? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, think about how many jobs we could give to Americans for that. Like,
all right, their currency is currently zero. It's worth nothing. They have a 180 to 200% inflation rate. Half of their working population is no longer working. They're losing $500 million a day. That is 90% of their entire economy. The president, the military operation.
God damn, that is crippling. That is insanely how?
Aspect of taking out their infrastructure. And Cargill, if he chooses to do that, wipes out their economy permanently. Now, there are...
Well, then do it. They've been jerking off for 2 weeks now. Do it. Blow up the economy. Do it. Why are we even having this conversation? They still haven't gotten themselves together to come to the table, then they shouldn't be running the country. They should lay down their arms and give it to the Iranians. If you're in such disarray from this that you don't even have somebody running the country, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go.
Outside forces the president's thinking about. He's been asked by the Pakistanis. We cannot get a hold of both sides inside of Iran for them to come up with their agreement. Can you give us a little more time? I don't think the president loses anything by giving them a little more time. They're still losing their economy in the process. The blockade has been 100% effective. So, and then I think in the back of the president's mind is like he knows that there's 90 million people that will be impacted by a very easy military decision, which is to wipe out this place.
We should just leave the U.S. We should leave NATO. We shouldn't even be in NATO. NATO's a joke. NATO's useless.
Yeah, you know, Sean, the problem, you know, one of the principles of war, that are principles of war, is simplicity. And you want to make it as simple as you can, but you want to make it complicated for the other side. So you create problems for them. You give them options that they have to address at the same time. And they don't have the capacity, the capability to do that because they don't have people that are really experienced in that and are in charge. You look at somebody like Vahidi, if you look at his background, he's only there because we got rid of the last Revolutionary Guards leader, and now he's in charge of it. He's distributed his command and control to the 31 regions due to this Mosaic doctrine they've got.
I think Duke Nukem kind of said it himself. Why don't you Google and check and make sure that they're for heavy refinement? And we don't need NATO. We haven't needed NATO. They activated NATO, but we never needed NATO. America doesn't need NATO. I'm the dumb one? We are NATO? Yeah, well then we need to abolish that shit. Why are we paying money to other countries? They need to be paying us. We should abolish NATO, come up with our own service, and call it like the American Bully Program, and then other countries can just pay us to go and fix economies by bombing them. Like, that's what we should be. Like, if you've got a bunch of immigrants that are pouring into your country, and you don't want them anymore, we can just fix their government. Problem solved.
And now you're asking them to do some command and control.
Like, if you really think about it, well, you have to let all the immigrants in. They can't stay in their awful country. No, we don't. We could just go bomb their regime and then force regime change. Know what you mean?
They can't do it. So my point is, you make it so hard for them, it eventually breaks. You compound the problem they've got.
But that's not a regime change. Well, if they're all dead, I mean, that looks like a regime change. Though, I'm not trying to defend Trump with the whole, well, it's obvious that there's a regime change. No, dude, the guy that they're talking about now says that he's even more radical. Nah, bomb him too. Bomb him.
What they're going to do with the blockade, add to the problem with.
How's it going,
we do that. We keep adding pressure to them. They're eventually going to buckle. And then remember, the IRGC is not the Army. There's two separate activities. You've got the Army, which is twice the size of the IRGC.
And I know you're a retard that can't listen, so I'll say it slowly for you. America never needed NATO. Is that slow enough for you? As a 31-year-old man, I'm telling you, America did not need NATO. Listen to the emphasis. Need NATO. We used, let me emphasize it higher, used NATO. We did not need NATO. I'm not going to spell it for you. And I damn sure ain't going to sit here and deal with you anymore. Bye-bye. Holy
and you
fuck.
want to fragment them as well.
Go read a
And then
book
you
or
get the
something.
IRGC,
Shit.
or zealots, and you look at a theocratic government, which are zealots, and now you look at the people that are trying to lead that, Kalibov, you look at Arashi and Vahidi, and they're all zealots, and you want to get rid of them as well. So you create friction for the Iranians that they cannot
Exactly.
control. And I would just like to see
Sit
the
here
president
trying to
do that.
tell me what NATO was formed for, bro. NATO was not formed for that. I don't know where the fuck you got your information from. Maybe all them commie books that you be reading, but man, let me tell you something. That ain't why NATO was formed.
More and more.
It was formed to protect the country, our country. Bro, nobody's ever attacked America, lobotomite. What do you mean? If you're going to come from a foreign country, at least get your facts straight. Holy shit.
There's ways to do it. Not necessarily bomb stuff, 'cause we bombed the heck out of them already. And
Damn, bro. I entertained, and I ignored that part of it, too. I was like, I was trying to cognitively say to myself, is there any saving this individual? And then I just said, why is that my job? Nope. Banned.
I'm sure there's still more on the target list, but you create
God
problems for the leadership.
damn.
And problems for the leadership is not that, oh, they just bombed this factory. It's command, control, and what they actually control in their economic standards.
Oh, man, these people something else today,
So I
bro.
would say eventually they're going to fall. If you want to take a long
No.
time, do it with the blockade. Do it with a shorter time, compound the problem, create issues for them that they have no ability to operate with and control.
One last part that doesn't get talked about enough, in my view, and that is arming the
Fuck global relations. Why the fuck we paying any country besides our own country? They should be paying us. We got the biggest military. Fuck global relations. Don't scream death to America and we won't drop bombs on you sorry asses. How about that? We've been a pretty good job at just not fucking with anybody. But the minute that you've got a civilization screaming death to America and trying to make nukes, there's a fucking problem there. Especially whenever they're linked to people that fucking, like, did shit with the Twin Towers and are, like, the minute we bombed them, they immediately activated terrorists in our country, shot up a fucking place here in Austin, Texas. And then in New York, they threw bombs at police officers. Fuck that civilization. Crack the sun over it.
Iranian people themselves, very effective when Reagan armed the Contra rebels in Nicaragua. Very effective.
We don't need anybody. We just need ourselves. Stop fucking with America.
Mujahideen got Stinger missiles in their war against the former Soviet Union. The Soviet Union lost that war as a result. Is that a good idea?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, but I'm on the hard side when I'm saying using military force in the sense, use the agencies, a group that does that, their special operations group, or you use special forces to do it, go in with weapons. You just don't give them weapons to use. You actually have advisors with them to help them train that, and you create a guerrilla warfare. I think they're ready for that.
Where was that during Bush's time? When the cost of gas was $5, over $5 a gallon. Where was it then? A lot of Americans that were hurting on gas. I didn't see. How does NATO keep the cost of oil down? I don't believe that at all. That's bullshit. That's just bullshit. You know what we should do? Leave NATO and start drilling in the Gulf of America and making more heavy refiners for ourselves. Stop relying on all these foreign fucking countries for everything, because they're going to turn around and use the economy against us. We need to be more self-sufficient. That's what we need. That's what we need to do. All that money that we've been sending overseas to those NATO organizations, fuck them. Keep that money here and invest that money into American companies, more oil refineries, more self-sustainability.
They'll be able to do that, but you compound the problems they've got to try to solve. And that's what you want to do. You got to break their will. You got to break their command and control. And I think eventually they're going to fold. Economically, especially, right. The president has it right. He had the guts to do it.
All right, $500 million a day. That's a lot of money to lose in revenue. I would imagine they want the Strait open. Lieutenant General Kellogg, thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest.
I think that, well, what the fuck happened? The Iran war has been a complete polarizer for a lot of people, because I saw that the sentiment was being spun. Well, we can't attack these people because oil, or we can't attack these people because they have terrorist people here that that managed to migrate here. Well, okay, well, then stop letting people come. Shut down the borders, deport everybody that came here illegally, and then recheck the people that came here legally. And if they're from a country we're at war with, send them the fuck back. It's not complicated. Don't complicate it. You're turning something that should be really simple into something that is absolutely way too fucking complicated. That doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be complicated. You realize that Obama sent over $400 million to get a bunch of American soldiers back that had been there for 440 days and they were subject to torture? What if we had just sent them bombs and cracked open that fucking mud hut that they were being held in and got them back our way? It'd probably be about the same amount of money. And you know how I know that? The downed pilot, we spent about that much to get them back. If you're going to spend the money, do it the right damn way. Like, what do we do? And here's another thing. If you're having to spend money to be in an organization to keep oil down, well, then why don't you just take that money and spend it on the fucking oil? It gives them one less thing that they could leg up on you. Like, think about it. Why be part of an organization where you're being forced to pay billions of dollars when you can just pull the billions of dollars out, leave the organization, and put that money towards getting the oil anyway? Either way, you're still paying this roughly the same amount of fucking money. You understand how, like, it's not logical. Do you have anything to add to the conversation other than saying somebody has brain rot? Do you have a counter argument? Do you have a counter argument? Something tells me this guy's not going to have a counter argument. No, nothing. Winter sicko? Yeah, if the price of oil goes up, it goes up everywhere, no matter how much oil you produce. But if you're the one producing the oil, dipshit, you determine what the price is. These are the counter arguments, bro? Oh, man. What the fuck? Is that it? Oh, God. Dude, the U.S. is the biggest oil producer in the world. Why is your... What? I can't even, bro. Bro don't even know what the fuck he talking about, sitting there trying to... Dude, get the fuck out of here. I love it, bro. Man, I love it. Woo! To give you an idea, yeah, we produce a lot of oil. I'm not going to say we're the most in the world. But if you don't even know why the oil is being sent over there to begin with, brother, you cooked. You cooked. I ain't got nothing to say to you. We send it to get refined over there, Einstein, and then it gets shipped out all over the world. Bro, really gonna roll up in here and act... Dude. Holy shit. And you know what you do with that black goopy stuff that comes out of the ground? You don't do a goddamn fucking thing with it without it being refined. You know what you do with that? You let it sit in the ground until you get it refined. And you know who determines that price? Number one, the people that pull it out of the ground, and number two, the people that refine it. Well, if the U.S. is the number one producer of oil, then I can see why our gas prices aren't really going up like that. I mean, it is what it is. But again, that oil ain't going to be worth the shit unless it's refined. In fact, in California is a good example of this. The reason why California's gas prices are skyrocketing like crazy is because you can only get the gas there that they sell in California through 2 refineries across the world. There's only 2 refineries that refine the gas that is sold in California the way it is. So, again, if you ain't got the refineries on your side, then you ain't got shit. Yeah, you could pull it out of the ground, but unless you're the one refining it, it ain't really gonna matter. That's right. All right. I'm gonna do the after stream fishy wind down stream, whatever the fuck that is, right? I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna do it today. Give me a few minutes after stream, and another stream will come back up, and it'll be the fish stream. So yep. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Hold on, let me get the music going. If you stick around after for a little while, give me a few minutes and another stream will come back up. You guys can watch that and tune in. We usually do that for like 11 minutes, a nice little calm after the storm. We'll be back. If you're new here, we'll be back tomorrow bright and early if you decide not to tune in for that. Streams every day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time every day. Let me see. I need some music. Yeah, we'll do that one.
Let's go.
All right. W chatters, W donos, W gifteds, W members. I don't want to go to work because my boss is a jerk and I'm not even that paid. Stay safe out there. Stay away from crazy people. We might end up pulling you up and making fun of you here on stream. Try to put a smile on someone. Try to put a smile on someone's face. You might change their whole day, their whole life. You never know. And I will see some of y'all in a minute. And the rest of y'all that don't decide to tune in, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
And we all got dreams. We all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?